Hello, my name is Kyle.
I'm Matt.
I'm Alex.
I'm Rachel.
This is Tony.
And we are Pseudo Adults. Welcome to episode 213 of the Pseudo Adults podcast, show on the internet where we talk about the stuff that is fun and exciting and interesting to us. We might talk about stuff that we're working on, having fun with from time to time. But we're here for a good time. Thank you for joining us. Let's get into it now. You can subscribe to Pseudo Adults anywhere that you find podcasts. That's right.
We're here for a good time, but not a long time.
A good time?
What?
Good time.
Not a long
time. You know that's an expression, guys.
Why not a long
Everybody take a deep breath. It's an expression.
All right, I just don't want any omens on the table.
Yeah, I agree.
Too late. It's too late, man.
To apologize.
It's too late.
Sorry.
Any plugs? Hair plugs?
You beat me to it. I was going to say I did go to Turkey and got hair plugs.
Oh, how was it?
It was painful. They didn't use any sedation,
Oh,
and they
my
hammered
God.
them into my head.
Oh.
So it was very unique.
Well, it looks
And now it itches and very red and very swollen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like all bloody. It's like, oh, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I think I have like 12 infections in my head, and I'm feeling quite loopy. So,
A little.
like septic, but you know what?
We're getting there.
Whatever. It's called the
Who
healing
isn't
process.
Septic?
Yeah.
Who isn't septic at this point? Raise your hand.
Oh, wait, I'm not septic. Wait, I am
Raise
septic.
your hand. Raise your hand.
He's
if
still
you're not
confused. He's
septic.
figuring it out.
Yeah, raise your hand if you're not septic.
If you are in that.
Okay, good. So maybe.
Guys, youtube.com/SpaceZamboni. Check it out.
Oh,
Love you.
I love the tongue thing that you did.
what? You did a tongue thing? You were
Yeah.
licking that mic?
Bah.
Huck too.
But people listening can't see the tongue.
I'm a sheep now.
Well,
But if they want to,
Yes.
If they want to see the tongue,
All it costs is $1.
It only costs canceling your gym subscription because you're not.
You don't even need
using
to.
Yeah.
You
If you could get a cup of coffee when you're at the gym,
don't get your cup of coffee.
combine it.
Yeah.
Don't have
Cancel
to.
your cup of coffee.
Space Inbound.
Yeah, if you find $1 on the ground while you're
Cancel
walking,
your cup
then
of coffee.
pay for the podcast
Correct.
for a month.
and watch all of
Cancel your cup of
5
coffee.
million episodes.
I think literally you can't watch everything
You can't.
in a month. We have so much content that you have to stay subscribed.
It's only a
yeah, it's not like an Apple free free
Yeah.
song.
Don't
Or
be
Disney
cheap.
Plus. I'm going to watch all the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
All your friends are listening to it. Don't be cheap. You're gonna end up being like the guy who doesn't want to spend a lot.
You're going to be cheap.
You might.
That's
as well
it,
be cheap
no.
somewhere
Oh,
else.
man. Whoa.
Listen to Space Abode. Listen to the Pseudo Adults podcast. Watch the Pseudo Adults.
President-elect, you're here?
His words.
I love it.
Proudly
Take
American.
every word to law.
President-elect, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so since we last recorded, the AGATHA show is finished. So we watched some other stuff we want to check out. Should we start with the spoiler warning, AGATHA All Along?
You should have watched it already. We gave you ample time to watch it. I don't feel bad. Ample time to watch. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, Matt. This doesn't include you.
I will drink my water pinky out.
Matt, did you see the second to last episode?
Yeah, I think so. Is that flip the tower upside down?
The tower's reversed.
Yeah.
Tower
I
reverse.
think that was that one,
All
right?
right, yep.
Yeah.
So I've seen that one.
No.
Up, okay.
The last two came out together. It was like one big episode.
Oh, well then I didn't.
Because I was like, the final one is more like a wrap up. Like nothing really happens in the last one. I feel
I
like
agree.
He just goes to like IHOP and gets a stack of things.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You just tell us you watched it.
You don't gotta lie about it.
Sorry, I looked into my crystal ball and was able to foretell.
Yeah.
I used my
IHOP
Agatha. Pancakes reverse. Pineapple upside down.
Yes, IHOPitis. You hoppity. It's not IHOP, it's Pohi.
Whoa.
Whoa. We got to open that.
Yeah.
Please.
Welcome to Pohi's Diner.
So, what the show had all these twists and turns. What do you think about how the show actually I guess, wrapped it all up.
I liked it. I honestly did not see it coming. Like with the twist that they had, like I didn't see that, which is nice of a show to do because a lot of them you can just see coming.
Yeah.
Like this was like emotionally very sad, but also like you're like, oh, this,
Oh, the kid.
oh, come on.
Did he die?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I mean,
No, I'm just.
We knew that.
yeah, that was kind of like introduced way.
but it talked about
it
like,
was gonna be a meme,
her
but-
backstory and like the whole thing, and you're like, oh, I get why she did what she did. I mean,
Whoa.
what she did wasn't good, but like, you know,
The kid was gonna, spoiler alert, just die for some reason anyway.
yeah. Well, he was meant to die, and death has never given time to anybody. And spoiler, death has never given time to anybody, like to keep somebody living, and she did that because she loved Agatha apparently.
Well,
I still have my theory that she was trying to get the baby out, accidentally killed the baby, and Death was like, sorry, dude, that baby's dead.
You did
She's like,
that.
no,
bitch."
more time. More time.
Yeah,
That's why she
please,
like
please.
held the back of the head, and there was like blood in her hand on the back of her head. Well, his head.
Yeah.
And then she's like, that you started from a scratch. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe scratch is like, because she definitely fucking cut this kid's head up. But I don't know.
I do forget the timing. Was that whole conversation being like, sorry, you're losing your kid or whatever, but like more time? Was that before she even pushed out the baby? Because I just
Yes.
remember it was just like,
Yeah.
so
Like she
difficult,
knew it was
so
bad.
difficult, childbirth. And then all of a sudden she just like, put you on, baby.
whoa.
Yeah, I think the baby was like somewhat. I don't.
She might have known that it was dying
think
or
so.
dead. Like she might have known because she saw death and she knew
Yes,
death. And
yes.
why would death be there?
Wait, so then do all the witches are all
No,
the witches
she's in love with death.
She's
literally
already
just
hooking up
said-
with that
Do
bitch.
you remember in
before
the middle,
that?
Yeah.
Remember in the middle of the show?
She wasn't hooking up with her after that.
No, remember in the middle of the show where she's like, I hurt her, we were in love,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
hurt her. That means they were in love before she had the kid.
Right, but so I'm saying my question is, does every witch see death? Because
She's in love with her.
Technically, yeah, right? They all saw her.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I thought all. So if you're a witch, you can see death coming. That's the whole point. Is that
It's just witches?
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't seen anyone else see death.
When they were doing that big fight,
But
Did people see death?
Right, because,
I don't know.
because Deadpool also sees her, and then also Thanos sees her too. So that's not.
in the
They're not
comics,
witches.
but not.
So when Tony Stark did his snap and died a few minutes later,
Like, did he see death?
yeah, did the death show up? Being
Yeah.
like,
I'm sure.
hey, baby.
I mean, she wasn't cast yet.
He saw her, but we couldn't because we're not witches.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Word for word.
Well, once we start watching Agatha, then that's where
Yeah.
you're able to see her.
Now
Which, please?
Yeah.
we've got witch hazel eyes.
How did Agatha have a baby?
That just happened, literally.
They said that she. Well,
Death?
they said it was
Immaculate?
natural. No, they
Immaculate
said it was
conception.
like she.
She found a
must have
condom on
gotten
the ground and
Goger did it.
pregnant. Sure, that's how that works, Matt. All right, thank
It
you.
might be like a two-girl
I must have been doing it wrong.
made baby.
Oops.
yeah.
Oh, man. Please don't do that.
Switch it
Right.
switch around to the condom
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
shove it back up.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Don't
You
do
get
that.
the old water pistol, you find the condom on the
The
ground,
water
and you
pistol?
dip it.
Yeah.
Strip it
Put it
into
in.
there.
Ew, that'd be the stinkiest water pistol ever.
What are you talking about? Oh,
Salem was crazy.
Yeah.
you super soaker.
Just put it on the broomstick, right?
Whoa.
Oh my
You
God!
turn
Ride the
it inside out.
broomstick. Yeah.
Turn the
It's a
inside out,
medical
right, the
salve on
broomstick.
the end of a broomstick, and then use it because we don't have fingers or anything.
Wow.
Save a man, ride a broomstick.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but a broomstick
God,
will give
the
you way more
splinters.
splinters. Yeah,
The splinters.
yeah, you're gonna have like a giant rat living in
not
you.
thinking
Thank
about
you.
Oh, that's why it was named Scratch, right?
Splinter's kid scratch.
Mm.
Turtle stitches my boy.
Oh, I turned Tony on to watching Always Sunny in
Whoa!
Philadelphia.
Oh man,
You're
that show's so
not
funny.
thinking about the smell, you bitch. I was like, you have to sit and watch this episode. So good. I don't know why that reminded me of that, but you have to think about the splinters, you bitch. So good.
It seems like in summary, I like the show. It had a lot of surprises. It was well crafted where it like withheld stuff until the point where they could show you, and then some parts were like, oh, duh, and the other parts were just like, that. They just like, here's some new information, new reveals. It was very cool.
What happened to the teen?
He's dead.
Because that's what I thought it always was with the
No. We're talking about Agatha, this kid.
Oh.
The kid starts dead.
Oh.
Remember, she's like,
I had a boy. He's dead.
Whoa, yeah.
yeah, so that kid, they just show why he's dead.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
past.
And just to
That's
spoil
why
it
I
a
was
bit,
like, oh man, they killed the teen. Yes.
Oh, no.
But
Yeah.
the
Oh, well, I like
Witch's
the
Road
teen.
song, that Witch's Road song
Yeah.
starts from the little kid being like,
I have to say, I was appreciating the middle part of the show because the song stopped,
Oh.
and they made up for all that lost time
Really?
in the
In
final.
one episode.
the final episode is just them straight up singing that song.
The whole
Constantly.
episode. Wow.
Constantly,
The
because
whole
it's the
episode.
evolution of it, like down the winding road, I think, and then it became down the witch's road when he's like doing a jig on a table.
That's awesome.
I get why
money.
it had to lead there to get to where it was, because it was like, oh, that was her. I can't spoil it.
Her
No,
growth
spoil it,
story.
it's
Yeah,
fine.
spoil it.
Yeah.
So that was her. She turned that into trapping witches to get their souls. And their
Oh,
power.
and the power and everything.
The witches road didn't
So when she
exist.
brought them to the basement, she was trying to just take their power.
Yeah.
But
kill them.
because Wiccan is Scarlet Witch's kid, he manifested
He
all
made
the
it
Witch's
happen.
Road.
So he did exactly what his mom did and created a whole reality.
Yeah.
That did.
In fact, seemed more powerful than his mom in that movie.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
actually was crazy.
Actually, he is in the comics. He's, you know how like in that shitty movie with Scarlet Witch and you know what I'm talking
Doctor Strange.
yeah, Dr.
about.
Dr. Weird Fingers.
There's a Scarlet Witch on the side of the temple, but there's also Wiccan on the side of the temple too. So people said that he was as if not more powerful.
Not anymore. Because he siphoned power to her right before he fucking died.
Yeah.
So she died with his power.
And so
And still survived. I'm like, what the hell?
Maybe that's why she's actually a ghost.
Yeah, maybe because she siphoned power before she died.
Yeah. Because no one else is really just a cartoonishly.
comics.
Oh, yeah, there's a cartoonish ghost at the end of the show.
very cartoon show.
Like Casper cartoon?
Yeah.
Yes.
In the
But it's
comics-
Agatha.
In the comics.
All along.
In the comics, actually, Wanda's going down the witch's road and has Agatha as a ghost in the comics. So I think that's what they were trying to do without having Wanda there. Yeah, and apparently Disney held a gun to the Wanda Agatha All Along show and said, say Wanda's this in this kind of way. They were like, don't say it any other way but this kind of way. They were like,
'Cause-
don't say anything.
Yeah.
They're
Wanda's
going to use
alive.
her again. That's
Of course.
1,000%. But they're like, say it in this specific kind of way. If she's dead or she's alive, you say it this way.
I hope it wasn't exactly like that. 'Cause
It was like that.
they should be thanking this showrunner for making two
They said,
awesome shows.
No, they put a
Oh
gun
my
to his
God,
head and
yeah.
said,
No, you're making the third Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Don't
was it the
fucking
same
defend
showrunner that wrote Doctor Strange?
Oh
Because
no,
that movie fucking
no,
sucked.
it wasn't.
And it had no, like, it's weird for WandaVision and then this show to be, like, cohesive.
I not to like. I probably couldn't do any better. I'll preface it with that. But like, did you ever watch like those Disney Plus, like the making of these movies?
Yeah.
whatever they're called, Assembled or something. Because they did one with Doctor Strange, and that writer was so confident with that movie.
Oh, wow.
It was just like
it was like he
there
thought
was
it
a
was the
story
best
that they
thing.
had, and I was like, I just started from scratch, and
You should have stuck with
Oh my god, that story they had was probably the X-Men 97 writers one. Because we mentioned on this episode, on this show.
But yeah, no, and he was supposed to be writing whatever, like Kang Dynasty or whatever when they first announced it, and they
him
parted
off of that
ways
show.
from him.
Damn.
Oh yeah, that makes
Kang
sense. I would
Dynasty
too.
hooting and hollering.
After watching that show, I'd be like, no, you lost us so much money.
It's crazy,
So much money.
but I don't know.
So, did Wiccan did Wiccan kill the kid? Not
Yes.
because like he
No.
he alters reality,
Sometimes
right?
boys die.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but that's what she was telling him. But was that really true, or was he
I
actually?
think so. I think he was going to drown her anyway.
Yeah.
And I think, but I like the part where he's like, no, he's going to be all by himself, and he's not in a good family, and like
If you don't,
He was justifying it.
yeah, he was justifying.
But
not
that kid was
killing.
dying.
That
Yeah.
kid was drowning because he was being bullied.
I guess it could be open to your interpretation,
Yeah.
but 3 out of 4 of people here, 75% of
was.
doctors agree. There's the second to last episode, right? Because they dropped the last two at the same time. It's all about like where's his brother Tommy, and it's basically like Billy's the one who has the Wanda abilities of like he was able to like his wandering soul was able to possess a body that was about to die. So I guess even though the Witch's Road was his contraption, it was still escaping space and time. He was able to take Tommy's wandering soul from that incident and find and navigate it to another boy that was about to die.
Oh my God!
In a pool.
Also, there was one part of it where they said now every witch can hear you, every single one. Like you broke the sigil. Remember that sigil he was wearing that kept him like. They said now every single witch in the world can now know you exist, and that was a hint. People think that was a hint to saying that if Wanda's alive, she now knows that you're alive. And she's now going to come and find you. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
He marries an alien.
Well, this show made Wanda seem more stupid.
It's fine.
Just personally. Because I keep telling Gianna, I'm like, Gianna, this kid went right into a body right after the Westview thing.
That's something that I mentioned before, too. Remember? I was like, well, if the kid was just able to do that. Basically, they just copied what Xavier did at the end of X-Men 3.
Yeah, except Wanda's a dumbass, and she's like, my kids are out there somewhere. It's like, here. They're here.
Yeah, you're telling me if all that dark hold power and everything, you still couldn't figure that out?
The sigil.
The sigil just means you couldn't hear his name. Can't you still sense your kid is out there in this world?
No, because they said that shielded him from, like, everything.
Yeah, but what about the other kid?
The other kid didn't exist. He wasn't put into a body like the other kid was. At the end of this show, they had to put him into a boy's body.
No, but I'm saying, why couldn't Wanda do that?
Christ.
Why couldn't Wanda do that?
You know why Wanda couldn't do it? Because she's a bitch. There you go.
It just sounds like that she wasn't thinking straight.
Yeah, she was too grief-ridden. And, this house was ours and too in her fantasy to realize that the kids could be, I don't know.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision, yeah.
She was just like every other universe has those boys with those faces I know and love.
I don't know. I'm not Wanda. I don't know her reasons in grief. People grieve differently. I don't know.
It was postpartum. She needed a break.
Postpartum.
She probably
She had postparmed
12 years later.
She probably look at his face and be like, "You are not my boy."
You are not him. Even though they all, I told Tony, I was like, you have to realize they all have the mask, but it's all shaped like Magneto's mask. But just like the thin strip of the outline of the outline.
Oh yeah, did you see some sort of posting? It might have been the rumor mill, but like in the new season of What If, Storm will hold Mjolnir.
Yeah, I did.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Does that mean they had to cast the actress for Storm? Because they kind of got to look like her, right?
Oh, you think so? That's just,
Wait,
not
isn't it
just X-Men
Hammer?
90s.
Yeah, but for the most part, it always looks like the actor.
Oh boy. Oh,
All right.
But yeah, it's something to read into for sure.
we'll see.
They just kissed.
Okay.
Mickey.
All right, so the Halloween recently passed. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Oh yeah,
that?
no clue.
Rest in peace.
Rip.
Yeah,
Gotta love Candy Day.
yeah, it was Candy Day. Matt hung out with me that day, and we watched a bunch of scary, spooky movies.
It's scary.
We actually watched 3, kind of technically, but
One we skipped through. Actually,
we could talk about 2 of them.
Alex and Tony were talking about the one that we saw.
Oh,
But that we fast forward through.
tell us about that one then. Do you remember the name of that movie?
I fell asleep.
Time Stab or
Yes.
what the hell was that movie?
Time cut.
Time Cut.
Before we start, I have to make a preference. I fell asleep from the beginning of that movie
That was the right movie.
to the end.
It
of
was
the
the
movie.
right movie.
I mean,
I was like, and then I woke
No,
up
you're-
to a
you're right.
Butterfingers advertisement that they had like within the movie.
The
which was
Butterfinger
I went, I'm gonna go back to
good.
sleep. They were just like Butterfinger. I mean, that what is going on? And then I went back to sleep.
I need to eat this.
Yeah.
but what's
She was
This
crazy.
is something I love, and it just says Butterfinger across there.
you know how we were all rolling in those Heelys in high school?
Oh, yeah.
My cousins still, my cousins are, I would say they're Gen Zs, and they found Heelys over by my house, and they're like, "Oh my God, Heelys!" And they bought them, but they're way younger than me, and I went, "Okay." They were like, "This is so cool," and I was like, "So
Heelys
you
are
guys
cool.
think this is cool?" And my generation still didn't think it was cool.
I
Even though
think they're cool.
I do think they're cool.
I'm wearing them now.
Say we're losers.
I mean, I was always at the envy. I was like, those must be too expensive.
Yeah. My brother had Heelys.
What do you guys think? So, what's with that 39-year age gap between the sisters?
How are they sisters?
Because both of their parents.
You can have a whole ass woman hitting menopause between their births.
Yeah. 39 years.
I know.
Some people don't even like really age at all.
Yeah.
Like the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Or the
just had a
parents.
little wrinkle. He had like crow's feet.
It was so dumb. I loved it, though, because how dumb it was.
Yeah.
Me and Tony were joking the whole freaking time.
Yep.
And everyone else was falling asleep.
Yep.
But we're like,
So boring.
it was so,
It was
but it was so stupid. That
was
time
stupid, it
machine.
was boring.
The time machine
in a barn.
I know. And then not even trying to see if it works again. She's just like,
exactly.
I need to
barn
find
time
someone to
machine.
help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it just
Instead of
starts up.
yeah. Like you know that's a time machine at
Yeah.
this point. You went to your school for some reason after this time machine incident. Just go back and like, oh, this obviously made me go through time. Let me go back in time.
No.
No.
It's like a weird, bizarre Marty McFly where she's like, oh, the people from the past must know how to use this future technology. I can't talk right because it's stupid earpiece. Okay.
You fine?
We did skip through it
A lot.
but it seemed like the ending was something they just kind of like threw together. Like, oh, it was the guy that was bullied, and he's from the future, and he's upset because he was bullied. Like, I don't know if they presented clues along the way, maybe like a mystery, or just like,
It's just
yeah.
It's just the Totally Killer movie.
But Totally Killer was better.
I thought that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or the 19-something movies that they had on Netflix.
1999.
And
Those were better than this
Ew,
one.
they're gonna have another one.
They are. having
I'd rather have that movie than whatever this was, and I didn't even watch it.
I got it.
Broke up. I went up.
I think I do agree with that. I think I'd rather watch Fear Street as well than this movie.
I
Because at
think
least stuff went on.
Yeah, thank you.
my problem with Fear Street is that I watched it alone, and this one I watched with people. And because I watched it with people, it was really funny.
Mm.
So to me, I had fun with the crappiness of the movie.
Mm.
But I think
How would
That's
you
why
rate it
it's-
as a horror movie
Awful.
without it being
Zero.
It was
Zero.
not
Oh.
putrid.
Yeah.
Was there like maybe 3 scenes with the killer in it?
Yep.
In the whole movie, and just the rest was just kids talking or
Yeah.
whatever. So also
Sleep with
we
Rover.
watched it after watching Carved and then before watching Mr. Crockett,
Yeah.
which are two
Crockett.
Yes.
The hell
two
is
mis-
that?
far superior movies.
They are superior movies for sure.
You want to know about Mr. Crockett more?
Yeah, what the hell? It sounds crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it sounds
Crockett.
ridiculous.
So Mr. Crockett is something I heard about from a coworker, but I didn't know the name. You stumbled upon it when
We're both aware of it, and you guys probably are too. Like scrolling through Hulu, their Hulu Ween thing that they have,
Oh, yeah.
and there's this one with like a nutty professor looking like
Guy.
like this, the chin down.
And he's like, he looks like Steve Harvey, and he's like,
and I'm like, what on earth is this movie? So, and Matt was like, oh, I heard about this. Okay, it comes on. How would you like to explain it?
so it's about this person that as the movie starts up, it's a little bit of a mystery because this guy, you obviously see like children that are in families that are not really the best. And this guy is a television show personality that these children are watching. And so as these children are getting like, I guess you could say like reprimanded for just not doing what exactly the parents are expecting them to do. Like the movie starts where your kid's eating dinner. And he's like, I don't like my vegetables or whatever. And he's like, you better eat your vegetables. You're not going to get this. And like really being rude. And the guy comes out of the TV.
Crawls out of the
Yeah, he crawls out of the VHS player.
yeah.
And he kills the father.
Oh,
Yeah. And
the
it's like
vegetable guy.
it's like a demon chair and everything. No,
Chair?
yeah, it's like
It's it's got like elements of like Mr. Rogers, like
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Playhouse type
Yeah.
of vibe, like a children's show.
Hmm.
But he's got this other character who is basically Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my God!
What?
Yes,
What?
there's a Sonic the Hedgehog creature in the movie as well. It's really wild.
Creature?
Yeah,
Yeah.
creature.
What the hell?
Oh my God.
Is there an image of him?
Sure, I'll find it.
That's nutty.
So yeah, the movie goes on. It turns out the person was a guy.
The children go missing.
Yeah, the children go missing as well. So yeah, that's also a huge part of the movie is that the children go missing. there's one, he just sticks a post in front of people's houses, which he feels like the children need him in their life. So the mom goes to this box and she's like, "Oh, what's this?" Because the kid's being really crazy, like destroying stuff in the house.
But killed the first dad because
Killed
they
the
eat your
first dad.
vegetables?
Yes.
So these kids don't need them.
No, the kids need him because he gives the kid a giant thing of cotton candy. He's like, "Don't worry, here, eat this cotton candy and such."
His name was Boogaloo Blue.
Oh my
What?
fucking God.
Oh my god,
Oh my God.
that's ridiculous.
My God.
And later in the movie, when they find their...
Five Nights at Freddy vibes.
do they have a picture of what he looks like later in the movie?
Oh, they got it. If they don't, it's
like
that would be
this one.
disappointing. Yes.
Oh, that's neat.
Okay.
Interesting.
He's just a baby.
He monsters out as it goes
He's
on.
just a
Yeah,
baby.
he does.
The baby's a
Yeah,
little puppy.
That's what that Godzilla to you.
He's just
But wait, when he was like the cuter, cuddly looking one, you said nothing?
no.
Because at that point he wasn't.
Yeah,
coming.
no.
Just like Godzilla. He's just a baby. He's just angry. He's just hungry. And that's why he did what he did in that movie.
Oh my god!
He was just a hungry
This man
baby.
crawling out of the television was like,
He's just a
awesome.
was like pitch perfection though. Like it was just everything that you would want from like a campy Halloween movie.
And this one was which one? This one was
Mr. Crockett.
Crockett.
And then he creeps out like in the doorway. He's like, "Ooh, what you doing over there?"
It's like The Ring, but with Mr. Rogers?
It's weird. Like, it's really hard to pinpoint an exact thing. I feel like it's more of like the Twilight Zone, the movie portion, where it's the kid that's able to like make things come, Johnny or whatever. Like, "Oh, Johnny, I didn't mean to upset you." Except it doesn't require a kid with powers to make this person come out of the TV. So he's
Interesting.
But what he is powered by is hatred and demons, because he got shot by a police officer while trying to like hang out with this kid in his house. So that part was a little strange. But don't worry, it gets stranger because remember that kid, what was his name, Angel or something like that? He ends up being this guy that comes and meets this mother that just lost her kid to Mr. Crockett, and she's trying to find her son, and he's trying to find Mr. Crockett because he's like, "I gotta find this guy, I gotta find him." I forgot what his reasoning out. It made it seem like he wanted to destroy him, but he goes to hell with the mother, and it turns out that he wanted to be with Mr. Crockett still.
He was one of like the kids that was like sent back into the world.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he's like, "I miss this place so much." And he's got a gun. He's pointing at the mom. I was like, "Don't shoot me." What are you doing?
So sometimes Mr. Crockett kills kids and sometimes it's adults?
No,
Kids.
No,
Oh,
he
okay.
hangs out with the kids but kills the adults because
okay.
that was, do you want the twist of the movie or you want to save this? This is because this movie gets juicy. All right, so spoiler alert. So what happens is that kid that went back, but he's older now, he's like in his 30s, Mr. Crockett's like, "You're not that boy." And he's like, "No, I'm that boy." And he's like starting to tear up. And then he kills him.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Damn. All
He
right.
doesn't recognize people when they're older.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like you're a different creature.
Like Peter Pan.
You've been tainted by society.
Like weird beard effect.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of people
It wasn't dull.
saw.
And of course, we watched the Carved movie,
And that was fun.
which is everything advertised, I think. It's about a killer pumpkin. Killer jack-o'-lantern.
I like that.
Is it a jack-o'-lantern? Was it
Yeah.
part, or did it freak out the second they tried?
Or, you know what? Yeah, it did freak out the second they tried, but it grew a face. So what?
So why
It wasn't
you
even
care about
carved?
being carved?
Because
You're gonna grow a face anyway.
Yeah,
it grew a face, but it didn't open. It didn't break the skin, so it like had indentations within the skin. It wasn't like carved out at all.
And it held crazy grudges. Like,
It did.
Anyone that it witnessed carving a pumpkin because apparently it could see them. It
with its non-eyes.
It
Yeah.
targeted them the entire movie, and it basically was able to like put its like roots and whatever tendrils underground and like could do whatever it wanted. Basically, like it was very supernatural. Very impressive.
It was surprisingly funny. surprisingly cool and really fun.
Was that the Great Pumpkin from
It
Charlie Brown?
was. That's what
I'm about
we
to
were
say.
saying. We were saying it was the Great Pumpkin from that episode.
Oh.
Oh my god, it was. Yeah. So if you like that episode of Robot Chicken, you would like this movie, I think.
Like some of the characters are like so stupid and so shallow, and like one like couldn't stop talking, and like they're a theater group, and like one of the kids just couldn't stop talking like they were in Shakespeare. And so I like kill that one already.
Yeah,
That was
they make you root for the Great Pumpkin
big
little-
time.
yeah.
Because there was that weird part also with that little kid and that girl's boyfriend, where he's like, "You're leaving for New York," and it's like,
Oh yeah,
why do you care?
he was in love with his sister's boyfriend.
That's what it seemed like. It was really weird.
Huh.
Yeah, you're my best friend.
But you get rid of that part of the movie's cute.
Yeah. What was the other? Oh, it had a actor in it who I think was like in the last Stranger Things season. Remember how there was like, sorry, there was like the two people working at the pizza place. There was like the tan kid, and then there was like the pale one that was like face.
Yeah, that was him. Yep.
Yeah, he was like the same exact character in this season. Got like super high all the time. He was the one who actually found the pumpkin in the first place, so everything was his fault. And he was pretty funny too.
Burn
It
him.
was a fun movie. So if you're ever in the movies for Thanksgiving pumpkins,
It's a Halloween horror Thanksgiving movie. There's like 2 of those now.
Whoa, really?
There's a Thanksgiving one that's specifically
Thanksgiving?
We
Oh,
did
that's
cover
right.
that.
I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
and then the pumpkin one
Yes.
now.
that's more Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they were working with what
I
they
think
got.
it's November now, so
Did you ever see Thanksgiving?
No,
Significantly better than Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was like Black Friday.
It was fine. It wasn't as bad as Valentine.
is that it's
Day or
right,
whatever.
Valentine's Day or it's a Valen?
Valentine, that movie sucked.
They tried the one with that they made in 3D back in.
Oh,
the
My
day. Is that
Bloody
the one? My
Valentine.
Bloody
No, that one was all right.
That one was
No,
okay.
there was one
That's
that's
a
like
3D
some
one.
weird Valentine movie where this guy had like a ceramic mask or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
I was about to say that guy had a mask in that movie.
Nah,
too.
he had a
But-
gas
yeah, you're
mask
right,
for
he
being
had a
in the
gas
mines.
mask, yeah.
But the Valentine, I think I'm going to have to look it up because now I'm like blanking. But I'm pretty certain it was like Valentine and it was awful. And the killer is so like in your
Stupid.
face. Like you know who it is like from the beginning of the movie. It's like, oh, all right.
Okay.
good to know.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys watched, I guess it's a movie. I'm not familiar with it myself. It is called Dream Scenario.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage.
Is that the group text one?
I was on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I did look it up. I did see it in Nicolas
I
Cage
also
in
was
it.
sleeping during that one, but I wasn't here. I was, I was home sleeping.
It's important details.
Yeah, it is. Dying on bed.
What was your dream scenario?
That was
Yeah,
my dream.
What'd you dream of?
Scary. That I didn't really dream. I like was sleeping and would wake up because I was sick unbeknownst to me. Well, unbeknownst, I knew I was sick.
I was about to say.
I knew I was sick. But I woke up being like the scared, like I'm dying. And you're not dying. You're like, okay, I'm not dying. But like, PTSD and all.
PTSD of dying.
I'm almost dying. Yeah, I loved
In
every
high
minute of
school?
that. No, like, last year.
In the hospital.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the same sitch, from the same beginning of the same sitch. So you kind of know what it feels like, and that's my dream scenario is knowing what it feels like to almost die and being like, I'm on my way again, and you're like, no,
Oh,
Do you feel further from death right now?
a little bit for this. I said, Gianna's like, how do you feel? I was like, 50% better. I feel better than yesterday, but
not as good as tomorrow.
Amen.
I hope
Yep.
so. It's just it's weaning off of like I don't know how to explain it. I still feel tired, but like my back doesn't hurt as bad. Preface: I caught before I went to the hospital, which was great. I mean, not great, but it's great that I caught it
Yes.
and got antibiotics before I ended up in the hospital. But whatever.
in your dream, was Nicolas Cage there and waved at
Yeah,
you?
he was trying to shake me. He was trying to shake me awake and go, "You're dying! You're dying.
Oh, he did more in that dream than he did at the beginning of anybody else's dream.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was fun about this movie was that the way it started was that Nicolas Cage was just showing up in people's dreams, and people did not know why the hell he was showing up.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like,
And we kept making jokes about certain things. We're like, oh my God, like he's going to be like, so did I do anything interesting in anybody's dream? And everyone's like, no. No, you just came by and waved.
Yeah, you were just there.
Yeah. And that continues for like a long time where they're like, no, dude, you really didn't do anything. And he's like, can someone please tell me I did something interesting in your fucking dreams? And like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
And then it escalates. I actually don't want to spoil it because I kind of feel like it's really good. So I don't want to like give too much because then maybe when you watch it, you're going to be like, it's not that good. But I think it's fun, and the fact
a lot
that
of humor.
yeah,
It's a comedy.
it's like lighthearted
yeah.
So if you
comedy
put it-
thriller.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
put it next to Long Legs, his other movie,
This is way
Way
better
better than Long Legs.
he was like, I want this one to fail so the next one looks better.
Oh, man.
No, this was really, I liked it a lot. And I think what was fun about it was the fact that like the tone is like so strange.
It's goofy.
Like you're trying to figure out what the tone of the movie is too as it goes. It's like, is this movie trying to be funny? Is it just funny by accident? But then there's a scene that happens that I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just actually laughed at a fart joke in a movie.
Yeah.
In 2024.
It's well placed and
It
just a
was so
scenario.
Yeah.
So
Just well
good.
thought out.
And they double tapped the joke.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, it was even funnier the second time. So,
Yep.
highly recommend.
Definitely.
Many Cage, Nicholas Fun.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever is happening with him not being exciting people's dreams like pays off somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
I feel like it's the whole like metaphor for celebritydom or whatever because it's just like you get 15 seconds of fame and then like one bad thing happens and it all comes crashing down.
Yeah. Okay.
They even
It's
talk about
interesting.
cancel culture.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cancel culture. We don't know if we can do this.
Mhm.
It's like, wow, that's funny.
Okay. So check that. I see it's on Max.
Mario. And then we heard a terrifying knock at the window while watching the movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, that Jenna also had said that she had a
Yeah. I was
terrifying
telling,
knock.
I was telling Rachel about
car
that.
door.
Yeah. So apparently Gianna was in the driveway and she heard a knock on the window and she looked up and there was nobody there at the window, like at the knock at the car window. Then when we're watching the movie, we hear a knock at the window, like right behind our heads, and twice. So I heard it too. So I looked. There was nothing there.
How many people heard that one?
all of us.
And I looked at everybody being like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
We all did.
Nobody said
Nobody said
anything. So I was like,
anything,
okay, maybe it was just me. Maybe I was dreaming because I dozed off for a second. And then next thing I know, I'm being woken up by a knock on the window.
Yeah.
And it was the same amount. It was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all just going.
Yeah. We're just looking like, oh, is there anything? Yeah.
And then only when the movie ended, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, it was interesting.
Take that as you will.
Yep.
All right. So you guys have been watching the final season of Superman and Lois.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So this picks up where the season 3 finale left off, where basically Superman's fighting Doomsday, which is Bizarro Superman that has been modified by Lex Luthor to become Doomsday. So picks up right where that one leaves off, and it's like a very emotional season, like emotionally taxing season.
You okay?
Whoa.
Those are the worst.
To his lungs. I've done it.
You fine?
All good.
Yeah.
It's okay to inhale your water. Just don't inhale it into your lungs, no.
You have to go to bed?
Pee out that germs.
Pee out those germs. You probably shouldn't hold it in.
Yeah. Take 5.
Yeah.
Everybody take one.
You fine?
How do I...
I've heard that before a billion zillion times.
You sure?
It's just that tickle that you can't get out. And even water doesn't help. Whoa.
So I heard you guys watch Superman and Lois. I'd like to hear more about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll let
absolutely.
Tony start.
Yeah, so it picks up right where season 3 ends. Season
Literally.
3 ends where
It starts.
Yes, exactly.
Season 3
where
ends
it
where
says.
season 4 starts. Yeah.
Picks up from
Yeah. So basically,
Season 4.
very
It
emotional.
Picks up where season 3 ends. Sorry.
that's true. It's true.
It's very
These are all
emotional season warning, content warning before we start. We were bawling at almost every episode so far. It's very emotional throughout. Like I'm like, I need to take a break between these episodes because it's a lot about grief and dealing with loss. And at this point, spoiler, you should have already watched our podcast and you should have already known what happened.
They don't.
So Lex Luthor stepped into the picture before I start. Stepped into the picture, essentially created Bizarro technically, and then
Doomsday. Yeah.
and then Doomsday, because it was Bizarro and then Doomsday.
Yep.
And Doomsday essentially beats the shit out of Superman, and you have to watch it happen. And then he takes Superman and he goes like this and drops him in front of Lois and the kids, being like, "He's dead."
He drops him like the mic.
Snap,
Yep.
drop.
Whoa.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah, I guess not really. As Lois screams, and there's other. I forgot. Like, if I did, like literally, but other people around the town are like, why is Lois reacting like that to Superman dying? And then they're like, oh, Superman is. And eventually, throughout the season, they put together that Superman is Clark.
Whoa.
Superman.
Like no one else would be horrified. Yeah, that Superman died before.
No, they announced in
What's
like
wrong with her?
newspapers.
Why is she married to him?
No, they kind of. I think it was one guy figured it out because his wife died tragically, and he was like, "That's the way I reacted when my wife died, and therefore she must be."
Whoa. That's some crazy logic.
I want to see that guy react.
That's like Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Dark Knight.
I was thinking,
Rises.
yeah.
Like who Batman is.
Yeah.
I could tell. Look in your eyes. You're an orphan. There's Wayne orphan. Yeah.
It's cool to see how the town kind of like throughout the series. This is besides the main plot. The town kind of like the way you would think Smallville would be. Like they wrap around and they're like in defense mode against Lex Luthor.
Make her a Jello mold.
Kind of.
Hold hands in a giant circle.
And then
around
for
the
some
town.
reason, and then on top of that, 2 episodes later, you get to see her dad get his head snapped also by the big thing because he took, I'm trying to explain, he took the shot that they stole from Superman. I don't know what it was, but they stole it.
Well, so in season 3, there was the whole cancer plot, and then so Bruno Mannheim is like the guy in charge of Intergang, and his wife was the one that was dying of cancer with Lois. So then,
And they were friends, and she didn't know that was
Dang.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so then Bruno Mannheim was doing these experiments on Bizarro Superman, taking his blood and trying to make a serum to get people to come back from cancer and stuff. So this
his wife specifically.
Yeah.
Because his wife was dying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying everybody with cancer doesn't die, but I mean, like, she was TKO, you know?
But that's the serum that
that's a serum that Lois's dad injects in himself after he gets stabbed or shot. He gets shot by one of Lex Luthor's goons that was dressed up like an army person.
he was an army person.
He was an army person. Whatever he was threatening his wife and kids or something like that. So he shot Lois's dad. Lois's dad is like, fine, injects himself. And then he's like, I'll be able to, blah, blah, blah. You figure it out later because there's a whole episode with him flashing back to moments he had with Superman, like Lois's dad, and deciding that he was actually a good guy for his daughter and like kind of coming to terms. Yeah, coming to terms. Because he knew he was Superman when they were dating. So like, coming to terms that Superman wants to marry his daughter, and they had a big fight saying like, why would you want to marry my daughter? You know what's at stake. Like, you know, if something happens to you, that's going to break my daughter's heart. And like, if somebody comes after you, they're going to go to Lois and they're going to kill Lois. Like, I would never do that. That's why I never was around to go, you have all those touching moments with him. And then at this point, Superman's already dead. And then he goes out and he goes close to the monster. Monster picks him up and snap, just kills him immediately.
Yeah, because he didn't even really know if the blood was going to do anything, right? He
No,
just kind of like
it's just kind of like a
It was a Hail Mary.
yeah.
And he wrote this whole really emotional thing to his daughter saying, like, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. And, like, you're the reason why, like, Like I can even though he does have another daughter.
Sorry, I put your husband's blood in my body.
In season 2 or season 3, I think it was season 2. He has another daughter.
No, he's always had it's Lucy Lane.
Lucy Lane.
Yeah.
I like. Okay.
She was in season 3 with the whole Bizarro plot.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. They don't show her. She doesn't matter. All right. Moving on.
But you could hear from her scream that her dad died.
Yeah.
Yeah, from across the world, wherever she is.
So Lois Lane is hysterical when her dad dies. Is like holding her dad and like because now Superman's dead and her dad is dead.
Yeah.
You'd think, oh, he's taking the serum to like become the same monster so that he could fight Doomsday, which I was like, that makes no sense. But I'm glad it didn't go this way. It could have very easily gone this way. So what they did,
I think it's actually kind of weird that he thought it was going to do that.
yeah. No, I think he knew exactly what it was going to.
That it was going to do nothing. He was going to get his neck snapped.
What they were going to do is that.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
So to preface that,
Go ahead.
so Superman's body was taken from
A GQ magazine.
yeah, and put into the Fortress of Solitude after he died.
He's in stasis right now, so he's dead, but they're preserving his body.
Is this him without the heart?
Yes. So
Okay.
yes. So Doomsday ripped a heart out of
Yeah,
Superman.
and his son, and then kicked it around.
Yeah. So
Like Pele?
He fucking did. He stepped
like a
on it in
hacky
front
sack.
of his son.
He's at a fish concert.
He stepped on it in front of his son, superhero son, Lex
Oh my
Luthor,
So
blah 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 blah.
So-
Lex Luthor.
no, because people didn't hear this part of the podcast. It got messed up. So they actually
I
don't know
already know
the
this.
context.
You don't have to
Okay.
tell me this, like, I'm a baby.
Because
I'm also part of this podcast.
I'm just saying because you
Don't
skip
make
it
me
through.
walk off. I'll
So
go home.
basically,
I'll go right fucking home right now. I don't need
So-
mansplaining.
Oh, snap.
God,
so basically,
not in the mood today.
because Superman didn't have his heart, they couldn't heal Superman because Superman normally would be able to heal from wounds.
Yeah, he's dead because he has no heart. It's kind of self-explanatory.
So the mom at the fortress was telling like Jordan like, hey, we can't heal him because we can't grow new organs. We can only heal those that are there.
And he's looking at it like, why?
Yeah. Why that?
do everything else on Krypton, but you can't.
Oh, I'm surprised they can't like 3D print an organ.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Krypton was
They
super
made fucking
advanced.
babies. They made
Yeah.
tubes. They can't do this.
Apparently not.
I don't believe that. It's fine. Let the plot continue. So
Aliens are weird.
It's
fine.
So
Wait,
Lex
they should take
Luthor-
Bizarro's sphincter because that should be his heart. Because it's reverse Superman. So they take his butthole.
I didn't know the
and
reverse of
put
a heart
it in-
was a butthole.
Yes, it is.
I
Yes,
agree
it
with
is.
this. The science tracks.
The math is mathing.
So they should have put his butthole in Superman's heart, and Superman would be okay.
It would be like the human centipede.
Yeah, because if they use Bizarro's heart, it's going to pump backwards, and Superman's going to die.
Well, remember,
Then his blood turns to poop.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want that.
also remember, Bizarro is Doomsday right now. They can't get his heart out because every time
They don't
you
need
kill
his heart.
Doomsday,
They need his
his
ass.
sphincter, whatever. Every time you kill,
Every time you kill him,
he
he
gets
gets stronger.
stronger.
So that's
So-
why he's Doomsday, because every
Does he
time
regenerate organs?
he regenerates tougher with more spikes. I don't know.
Just saying. Then rip out his heart,
Yeah.
and he'll regenerate a new
Yeah,
heart.
Superman died trying to fight this guy.
Superman, he literally smacked Superman into the moon and then was like,
Bugs Bunny him. Dress up as a girl.
It's true. I do like
Give him a
this one.
big fat kiss, distract him and run around a little bit, then rip out his heart.
Yeah, first you gotta drop like an Acme dumbbell.
Yeah. You sing something to him.
first of all, this is pretty much so.
We'd be dead if this was real life.
Let's get through, and then I'll explain to you what happens Tuesday. It's kind of like that, but we're not.
Oh.
We're okay. So, steps. Lex Luthor is involved too in this. He's an evil asshole. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good version of Lex Luthor. This is probably one of my favorite versions of Lex Luthor. He's evil. He's a redhead. He shaves his head bald though, so whatever. Kind of defeats the purpose.
Got my beard.
So yes, so he steals the heart. The son, the super son, tries to go after him to get the heart because they're all like grieving and shit. The Lex Luthor traps him. They blow this fucking kryptonite. I'm trying to paraphrase this. kryptonite gun thing that makes him go, oh, they do it to Superman all the time.
Mhm.
They did it to the sun, and the sun got back up and started walking towards them, and they were like, holy shit. He got farther than Superman got, which is because he's, half human, whatever, I guess. They don't really explain
That's Super Saiyan
that. I
line.
know.
Yeah.
I know. But,
Half
and
human, therefore stronger.
Oh, I was like, therefore, kryptonite has half the effect of him.
I guess so. I don't really know. They never really explained it.
Yeah, I'm only getting cancer half.
Yeah, it's like humans do.
So he finally falls, and Lex Luthor comes up to him, throws the heart on the ground, and fucking steps on his dad's heart and goes, "Fuck you! Your dad's never gonna come back."
CW got intense.
They did.
I feel like the
fuck
heart's
you.
mainly muscle. Like the stepping on it shouldn't be too bad. Like if you have a little dirt on it, just shove it in his chest.
It's also still Superman's heart, right?
I don't
It's a
know.
strong
So
heart.
a human foot shouldn't crush it.
They just said no.
You should be like, oh, shoot, what the fuck?
and then
He had kryptonite.
does that.
Ah,
It's
kryptonite
assuming that
boots.
The heart is dead now, and they can't do anything with it. The son's mourn. The one son blames the other son.
Yeah.
And says, it's your fault, you were reckless, and you went after him when I told you not to go after him, blah, blah. He gets angry, they're fucking yelling at each other. I'm paraphrasing this, because I'm going as fast as I can to get to the present. Yeah. So the son gets mad at that son. The non-superpower son gets mad at the superpower son, goes, what the fuck, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden he's like, blah, blah, blah. He can fucking see through. He could see through fucking people. He gets all of the powers all at once. So he's like, oh, like fucking, like Superman does all the time.
Puberty hits.
Yeah.
It does hit him hard, and he gets all the powers all at once. He doesn't even need to train. He has all of Superman's powers right now. And the other son's like, I had to train to get all these powers, and you just get them instantly. So this kid's like, all right. Now we're back to the grandpa dying. Now we're at that snap part, okay? All right, so sad. They fly his body to the Fortress of Solitude. I'm trying to call 1,000 miles per hour. They fly his body to the Fortress of Solitude, and they're like, okay, we can use his heart and transfer it to Superman. So they do that, but his mom's like, this is a big risk. I don't even know if this is gonna work.
Yeah, which one of them?
Okay, this makes. I don't fucking know.
That's what he said.
I don't know. We're gonna say, the robot. The robot.
I am a
computer is the
surgeon.
robot. I am a surgeon.
I would love it if the ship said that.
It's the robot AI thing that's there.
It's
guess
Krypton's
a doctor.
ChatGPT.
I don't- We're gonna say okay, and we're gonna let that happen. Let that slide.
Okay.
So they put it back in, and they're like, we don't even know if this is gonna work. There's gonna be like side effects to him having a human heart. So he flies back. There is side effects. The next episode is he's losing his hearing. He's not flying as fast as he normally does. He's starting to gray in his thing, so he's starting to get old.
What if he just
He's
has low
starting to realize that he might not be able to be the Superman that he used to be, and that, whatever. And then he has his kid who's reckless, his kid that got all the powers real quick, is flying around the world, saving everybody, never stopping, saving like 18 people like every minute, and like going super fast. And he's like, dude, you're doing too much. And then, oh my God, this is so
Does
fun.
Lex know that Superman's back yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
found out
He
this
must be
episode.
so mad.
He is very angry.
I stepped on that fucker's heart.
He is very angry.
You know what actually happens? They get in a fight in the street, and he goes, Lex Luthor goes, you want to fight? At least fight me in my level. And he flicks this button, and all the lights on the street turn red. Like it's red.
Like the red
sun.
color. Yeah.
And he went, "Du-du-du-du," so all the lights, so he's like, fine, I'll fuck you up. And then they start, pop, pop, pop.
It was really cool.
They start fucking fighting each other. And of course, Superman still beats the shit out of Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I was about to
no
say,
matter
like,
how,
yeah.
he still beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He should at least train in fighting before he does that.
Yeah.
And all this time,
You would think.
all the time there's a side story. There's a side story. He's skipping all over the stupid plots.
Stupid plots.
Like the son's relationship. Don't care.
I want to know.
All right. Don't care.
These are side quests.
Give us all of it.
He has a girlfriend that now lives in Metropolis, and he lives in Smallville.
Wow.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the girl from seasons 1 and 2 still in the show?
Yes.
Because you never talk about her. But
Okay.
she's like the main character. Is she still like?
No, she's more like a side character
Yeah.
now. So her dad got married to the girl from.
Kyle.
No,
finally died.
He's still around.
yes, he's
He's
still
still around.
fucking around.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so he's now marrying and got this girl pregnant, they're divorced now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're divorced.
Yeah.
They're not together
Kyle and Chrissy.
because he was cheating on her the whole time.
Oh.
I love that there is just CW drama in there.
Yeah, just
Like,
throw it in.
baked in.
Yeah.
So he cheated on her, and now since they split up and he lives in a different apartment, he starts seeing this girl who works with Lois Lane, who's another. She's like that,
He moved out of a different apartment. They stepped on Superman's heart.
Yeah, you liked it because it had like a gas stove.
He's dating this girl that works with Lois Lane. You know the girl that works with Lois Lane? She's kind of like
Chrissy
short hair,
Beppo?
Chrissy Beppo.
Buckbo?
Chrissy Beppo. He's dating her. He gets her pregnant, and then they're like, "Oh, there's a whole episode, a whole thing that I didn't need to see."
Gogurt?
No, I wish it was Gogurt. There's this whole episode that I wish I didn't see. It was like a side episode that you could just skip right over.
Oh my God.
Actually, no, you couldn't. Because
No, there's
there's
main plot.
okay. They get married. Well, they're going to get married, and she's like, "This is too soon. I don't really know you." Blah, blah, blah. She doesn't show up to the wedding venue. Then he takes her back, and they're just together. That was that whole plot. And Lois Lane is like, blah, 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 blah. And that's how much.
So much context.
That's how much I cared about that side plot. I totally forgot he even existed. There is a side plot that's really good that Lex is trying to buy land in Smallville.
Oh my God.
He's trying to buy land in Smallville so that he can put his factory there.
But he needs to get the permits.
Yeah. Zoning just isn't right.
No,
Lana's the mayor.
Lana's the mayor. So she says, absolutely fucking not. I know, like, she pretty much knows what's going on with she knows Superman, whatever, at this point. So she's like, absolutely fucking not. This isn't happening. Fuck you. You're never getting any of the permits. Fuck you. And Lex Luthor's like, shows up in her fucking office.
The application.
No,
I'll see you in court.
No, he's in her office, like, when she's not there. And then she comes in and she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, do you really want to fuck around and find out? Pretty much, I could, I've had people killed, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, is that a threat? And he goes, it's whatever you want it to be. And then walks out. And then he sends somebody, he sends not just somebody. He sends Otis to choke her out in the middle of the night. So he goes.
What?
Actually, no. What happens was the gas turned on. She was like, what's that smell? And she gets out of the bed and she goes to the kitchen and she's like, what the fuck is that smell? She turns off everything and then she turns around and the system that John Irons set up, the security system, because they're dating. The security system that I didn't think it mattered because they haven't talked about it all season. So I totally forgot that they were actually
me too. Until they
they've been dating a month. I don't need to know that. The system he set up for her, the security system, is hacked into. Somebody hacked into it. And then you see Otis pop out, his doofy ass self, and they fight for a little bit, and then he chokes her. He's choking her out. She's like losing color in your fucking face. And then Sarah comes out with a metal bat and fucking knocks him in the head. She goes,
Dang.
you hear like, the metal bat sound, bing, with his head, and he falls on the ground, and then the cops are called, and you can hear Lana go, she got choked out, and the boys were like, we should have heard it, but we were so busy doing other things, and the other one now doesn't. Yeah. the one that was dating her now doesn't. Yeah, the one that was dating her now doesn't really want to have superpowers, so he's kind of like, I just want to be a normal person. So he stopped listening. I didn't know you could do that as Superman.
Well, no, he had the headset. He was playing video games.
He wasn't listening, and then the other one was.
That must be loud.
Tired from doing a whole bunch of shit, and now I'm sleeping. Yeah. So he was so tired from doing unnecessary shit all around the world that he's now didn't hear.
Yeah, unnecessary.
That's what he's
saving the 18 lives a minute. 18 unnecessary.
I'm only quoting him. He pretty much said that. And I was too busy to save you. And she goes, no, it's fine. You're a fucking human.
Oh my
it's
God.
fine. She goes, you're fine.
Yeah, but the Elden Ring DLC came out and I had to kill it.
Yeah, I couldn't hear any of the noise over my Skull Canyon Beats noise canceling headphones.
It was like, what was it? It was
My skull candies.
it was like
And eating the crunch.
She's like, I don't need your help to be saved. It's fine. It happens. Like, you're not always going to be there to save me. And then she's like, oh, by the way, I'm skipping over. By the way, I'm going to be an exchange student for a year. that's their ending where she goes,
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be an exchange student for a year.
The
and
show's
go over
ending and they're
here."
still writing her off?
No, they're writing
I
her
guess
off right
I don't
now.
know.
This is where the red.
last
I'm gonna
season,
do
they're
exchange,
like,
but I don't know where to go. It's either this place or this place. And the boys are like, "Well, we could just fly you there right now." And she goes, "Right now," and they go, just fly
Oh
her
my
off.
God.
She goes, "Ah!" You just hear her go, "Ah!" So right now, Lex.
Did they both fly her off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
They both grab her.
Grab her by the arms and she just dang.
No. One of them has a girlfriend that lives in Metropolis. The other one is single and they're not together. But they're
But they both fly her off for no reason.
To Greece. Greece Islands.
So right now in Lex Luthor's world, right now his plot right now is pretty deep. He was trying to find his daughter, and during this whole thing, I got him forgetting names. There's so many fucking names.
Lex is human, right?
Yeah.
Lex is human.
Lex is
And he goes to sleep, right?
He does.
Can't they just both fly him off to another island and put him... like, they flew her to Greece.
You know
Just
what I
fly
said?
him off to, like, some deserted island, and you never see him again.
Said even better. You know what I say every time I fucking see him and he threatens them? I go, why don't they take him and fly him into space and just let him die? I go, where'd he go? I go, no.
Remember, he still has Doomsday.
You can see through shit.
No.
You could be in space and laser him in bed.
So what happens is he sets up Lois sets up a meeting with his daughter that he hasn't seen in like 17 years. He's trying to look for her. The reason why he hates Lois and Clark so much, or Superman so much, is because they put him in jail and deprived him of him seeing his daughter grow
For
up.
something he didn't do.
For something he actually, honestly, they found out he didn't do. So he was in there for like fucking 17 years because of them. So he comes out angry and he's like, fuck you, you're the reason. So his daughter comes. His daughter's like 6-7 months pregnant. She already got married. She's older. Me and Molly hasn't seen her since she was like 12. So she's pregnant. She's older. And then eventually, after all this big conversation, he can't seem to grasp that he put himself there also. Like, he was a bad guy. He did all these bad things.
Yeah,
but it's
a
like
bunch of terrible shit.
him. It's like, no, it's Lois. He can't take responsibility. So the daughter's like, I don't want this kind of like presence in my son's life, or it's a boy.
Yeah.
She said, my son's life, I don't want you in it because you're toxic. Okay, I don't want you in it. So he leaves.
She gives him a chance, though. She's
She
like,
does, you know,
look.
she comes back. So she leaves, and then Clark was like, I would give anything to have, to be able to like speak to my dad. My dad died when I was young, and if anything ever happened to your dad, it would be, you'd lose that chance to speak to your dad. And then she's like, you know what, you're right. And she goes back in and tries to talk to him. They're having a good time. And then he goes off on his fucking tangent again. She goes like, you know what, fuck this. And she gets up and goes.
Well, it's because he won't let go of the fact that so she's like, look, it's over. You're done. You're out. Like, we're reestablishing a relationship.
We can live a normal life. Like,
Yeah.
we can go and do, like, you're free now. Like, you don't need to. And he's like, no, revenge.
Yeah, he's like, no, but there has to be consequences.
There was. He went to jail.
No, he means for Lois
for
putting him in there
Lois
for
and
something he didn't do.
Yeah.
She had cancer, right? Or whatever it was.
She didn't get
that
cancer,
is-
and he killed her husband.
No. She wants to rip the kids away. I forgot to mention
But
that
Lex
fucking
is so
phone call.
dumb. Because he doesn't realize how much he loves his kid and what the kids matter to him. He does not understand that, like, okay, you killed the dad. That's a lot.
Yeah,
He actually said that Superman actually flew down to his level, and they stopped in the middle of the road and had a conversation. And he's like, don't you love your daughter? Like, she's your kid. I love my kids. Like, can you leave us alone? And then he's like, no, fuck you. Same shit. So while this is going on, Lois pulls a shifty underhand shit that I was like, yeah, Lois. What she does is she has this button that her dad had that called Superman. So she's like, if I press this button, it will call Doomsday to me because he's Superman's technically.
Oh, Bizarro.
Yeah.
But they
So
still have the
she'd
button.
have to...
She presses the button. And
That shouldn't work.
I don't know.
Okay, so you have to understand, Bizarro in this version is not everything's completely opposite. It's that it's a different universe. It's a parallel universe. And in that parallel universe, when we go there or they come here, the language is backwards.
So he's the same, but he just talks backwards?
Yes.
Yeah,
essentially.
So the button sound should be backwards.
I guess so, yeah. But you can still hear it. It's still, yeah.
The relationships are different. Him and Lois aren't as close. They're like getting divorced. The kids aren't as close. Like it's a different relationships. But so Lois presses the button and he comes. I don't know why. Oh, and the son also comes too. He goes, "Why'd you press the fucking button?" And the mom's like, "Why are you here?" And then he's like, "Because you pressed the button." So
She should have said, "This is my plan. I'm going to whisper it so you could hear it, Jonathan."
Oh my God.
yeah. And
Now I'm going to press the button.
Jonathan? That wasn't even Jonathan. This was...
I thought it was Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan, their favorite one. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Bazaar comes and then she's able to say like, "My husband died, like, but I know how it feels. You know me. I know you know me." And it was able to talk him down. Yeah, she was
She
able
talked
to talk
down
him down
Doomsday?
because he's
Or because he's
Superman.
Bizarro.
But he's not
still
Unga
Bizarro.
Bunga Brain?
No,
No.
no, he's not Unga Bunga Brain.
Legitimate
He's,
question.
I thought he was Unga Bunga
no,
Brain.
he isn't. So she was able to talk him down because he was still Superman. So she was able to talk him down. She realized that he was still Superman in there and that she was able to talk him down.
Did she have to say it backwards?
No, which was weird. Why didn't she have to say the backwards?
There was something that made
I don't
Bizarro able to
He
understand
could
Lex. I forgot what it
understand
was.
them, but nobody can understand him or some shit like
They
that.
could just get like the talk boy
I was thinking
and
I know.
record him and
Play-
play
play
it
backwards.
forward.
They weren't.
yeah.
So she went and she talked him down and said, "Can you please leave us alone? Lex is taking advantage of you." And he's like, "Huh? Maybe he is. Well, he is taking advantage of him." And then he gets angry, goes "Roar," and flies off, but he's not. He leaves him alone. So that's
So now he's just done. Was he T-posing, just waiting for like Lex to press the button?
Well, no, he was living underground in the.
Oh, he's caged?
Well, no, he wasn't really.
Of the Nicholas variety.
But he was able to just get out whenever someone pressed the button or called
Yeah. He was just listening to Lex because Lex was the one who gave him the opportunity to kill Superman because he felt jealous of Superman because Superman got to have his
Because
whole
his whole
life
family
and his whole
died.
world's destroyed.
Does it not also feel like revenge to take another version of Superman, turn him into like a deaf Superman, and then put him in a cage?
Yeah, Lex did a plenty.
Lex was not a good guy.
Yeah, but I couldn't see my daughter.
I know. So after that whole thing happened, Lex was like, "What the fuck?" There's this girl that follows Lex around that she's almost like, I would call her
Mercy?
Mercy. She might as well be Mercy.
Yeah, but her name's different. It's
Her name's different.
Amanda something.
They're dating, kind of, which is
Sure, she wants to date him. I
Like,
guess.
she's like Mercy, like Holt, like falling around. All right.
Okay.
So, and
Miss Tessmacher?
he moved
Yeah,
back
sort of
to
like
the
that,
city.
yeah.
So, I think something happens where he's like, "Fuck it, I'm going back to the city." And then she was like, "You're doing it wrong. You're fighting him wrong. If it was me, what I would do is I would build a suit." And then the episode fucking ends where he's gonna build his
Power suit.
his power suit, and cut.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on. It's a really good season. It's
I
really
would say
good.
This is the best season. Out of
Yeah,
the
100%.
You don't have to tell me it's good, because I watch Batwoman. So I know.
I like Batwoman. Batwoman's funny.
You gotta watch with me then.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it.
I love Batwoman.
I presume it's the same writers, right?
God, no.
Please, God.
Only the finale.
Oh, man, please don't say that. Oh, that'd be terrible. But they're also hinting at Brainiac, too. I'm excited to see how.
Oh, but the show's gonna end.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Time.
Don't
I
know.
don't know. Maybe at the end of the season or something.
It still like sets up other shows at the end.
This is what could have been.
Yeah, little bitches.
Yeah.
But that was very emotional season of grief and loss, and then
It's not that
just
yet?
reversing everything
That's-
except the dad's death.
Mm.
So not done yet.
But you guys also watched another
We did.
animated
We did.
super related
Super show.
property.
Oh, this is the one I watched too, right?
We
Part
watched
one?
The second. We watched part of the second one too. The third one.
I think I did too.
Okay, interesting. We'll see where we left off.
Yeah.
So-
I just have one comment before we start. The one thing I can't get past, that Tony can get past, but I can't get past in the movie, is there's a part where a Batman has Dick, sorry,
Ooh.
has Dick, and they
He's got a full
Batman
sleeve.
gets
the
dick.
little boy named Dick,
Yes.
and he's like, I need to set him up to be adopted. And I'm like, wait a minute. I go, what? And he's like, it's more suitable. It's not right. Like, and he argues the fact that he doesn't want to adopt him. I go, you were an orphan boy whose parents died from a criminal doing something. This is an orphan boy. I go, in Batman's, like, in my mind, what Batman's character is, that he would never let that happen.
Yeah, but see...
How many kids has he adopted, Tony?
Yeah.
2 maybe.
Okay,
It's a different version
it's
of
a
Batman.
different version of Batman. It's a different universe. The whole point of probably his character growth throughout these movies is the fact that he's going to be like...
That's it?
What?
That's all his character growth is? Not like...
No, you're expecting too much of this movie.
But you watched the 2 and 3?
I watched enough to know that you're expecting too much of this movie.
Oh, okay.
You watched? Did you like 1?
I thought it was okay, but because you lowered my expectations so goddamn much.
That'll do it.
I said, I think I came into this movie having 0 expectations, and I think that set up to be like an okay movie. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I would watch it again.
It was a schizophrenic movie.
Yeah.
It was all over
I
the
feel like they
place.
didn't have to do the time skips that they did. I think they were trying to be too artsy with it. Like, they were trying to be like a Nolan thing. But I don't think they had to do that.
So
I
for-
think...
But
For
instead of
anybody
like
who
the main
doesn't know,
thread-
it's a Flash movie, so he's jumping around. He's fucking jumping around like
They explain why, too.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to explain it, but they do explain it. So when he went to Earth 3, and he absorbed the Speed Force because all the other speedsters died on that
Make
Earth.
him so hot either. Has an animated.
Well, old him?
No,
Yeah, all in with in the baggy suit.
I went, wow, okay. I didn't. Okay, this took me off guard because usually he's not like that, and I'm like, oh, you're too scrawny. You're too. You got a runner's body. I'm good.
But yeah, so the when he absorbed all the Speed Force, what ended up happening was it made him start skipping through time where he can't really control it. So it's almost like that Agatha episode where it's like, oh, he's in certain moments, and then he's like, oh, where were you? Like, you were gone. So so they explained that. The part that I did like about it was if they didn't do that whole time skipping thing, I think it could have been a better movie because
I agree.
it's like you get to see his relationship with Iris, you get to see them forming the Justice League, why they formed it, and then you also get to see like the end of their lives basically, which was really cool. I like that aspect of it. What I didn't like is that it was so Frankenstein together. I think if somebody made like a fan edit of it, it probably would have been a better movie.
That's the problem, is that you're also doing a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie in it. Because instead of being like, okay, we're just going to tell this story, you're doing this overarching big doomsday thing where the world's ending and all this other stuff. And it's mostly a Flash versus a Mazo movie.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's not what you're expecting from this movie.
Yeah. Yep.
And then also you get like, oh, everyone's coming together and we're going to fight this time wave thing.
Well, you can't fight him technically.
Yeah.
You have to come up with an idea, and then so you've dragged all these superheroes here. Some of them don't have like the smartness, and you're gonna go this.
Yeah. And it doesn't even really make sense.
What, the plan?
Yes.
It's basically was because Flash is able to vibrate his cells to the point where things face through him. They were like, oh, let's do the same thing with the Earth, and that's why they built that big machine for Flash to be able to do that.
Yes.
But he did like 6 or 7.
Oh, he's also fighting the other Justice League people, right?
Yeah, the Crime Syndicate. That was
and they just get deleted?
Yeah, they get deleted.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was just to explain why he was able to
I didn't like how
go
they just
forward,
flew
backward in
into the. I didn't love those scenes of the Crime Syndicate because I'm like, they just like killed themselves and just didn't give a fuck.
What?
They just literally like so this wall of like
Yes.
the antimatter
Yes.
wave.
the antimatter was coming and it deletes everything, and they're like, well, let's just punch it, and we're like, what? Just punch it?
Yeah,
dude.
Punch it.
Yeah, that's what Ultraman says.
And
Yeah.
they're like, let's just punch it. And
That's
we're like,
awesome.
what? And then Wonder Woman's
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
we're dead. And just
Oh,
walks
Superwoman. Yeah, Superwoman. She realizes like this is not going to do
We're
anything.
just dead.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
The story behind this picture.
I don't know yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, is that
Oh,
in it?
Aquaman.
We haven't seen him yet.
What? Whoa.
Wow. So sorry. I thought you watched the whole thing.
No. There's 3 parts,
It's like,
Oh.
3 movies.
Oh, I bet you're looking forward to
I
that
don't
shit,
think you even
aren't
said
you?
out loud what you've been talking about.
But what?
Have you even said out loud what you've been talking about?
Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1, as in
I think
case
you did.
anybody did not hear it from the beginning. I don't remember if we gave that was
dated.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right. So
I think I was like, you watched something else. Like we did. Like, what did you see?
But that was, I mean, I just, once that happened and the Batman thing happened, I go, wait a minute. And it just kind of like, I was set on just that problem for like that. I was like, but Batman would never do that. Batman would never do that. Especially because it happened to him.
Can
Different versions.
I give
I
you
don't
guys a
care if
spoiler?
it's a
Yeah.
Do you guys care if I give you a spoiler?
No.
don't even look forward to that. Because all they do is delete all the universes we loved. Yeah, so all like the
Fantastic.
Justice League, Bruce Timm, all that stuff, they delete it.
Wow.
What about the Suicide Squad with the Joker with tats?
Nope, that's okay.
That was
No, literally the only reason they show that stuff is to delete it.
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So and it's like straight up deleting your childhood.
But
And they're like, okay.
huh. I wonder how the movie ends then, because I mean how the last one's gonna end. Because I mean
That's in the
technically-
last one.
Oh well,
They get
no, because I
shawarma?
say because like in the comics they got rid of all the multiverses and then they brought him back later. So I'm wondering what if they're gonna do something
They're
similar.
not doing that. Just don't say hi on it. They're bringing
It very much felt like they're trying to just end all the other stuff.
Hmm.
And it didn't.
Weird.
Yeah, it was not gratifying. But also, like, to be fair, I hated this movie. I hated part one so much. It was, to me, it was so bad.
It felt like
because-
very jumpy back and forth.
Yeah. I was like, where the hell is the actual movie?
Hmm.
Because it's like all over the place, and it's like skip.
Yeah.
And then they want you to follow 15 different plots throughout the movie. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it.
Well, yeah, that's
And the Iris would be like, "Yeah, go ahead, save the world and not get married to me and not be upset."
Yeah, and then little old man Flash is like, I'm gonna save the day.
Yeah,
No,
he takes a Kendroid.
I thought that was cool that he stopped time enough for them to be able to complete that whole thing, and then
But
eventually.
why was it still young them? And why did it have to be
what do you
old
mean
him?
them? They lived their whole lives in that time that time freeze.
But did they? Because young Flash was in the tower. It wasn't old Flash in the Justice League tower up there where they all had all the time people.
yeah, because that didn't. It was when they were building the tower that he did that.
No, not the actual tower in the world where they activate the thing. I'm
In
saying
the
in the anti-monitor thing.
yeah,
Yeah, that's not old Flash that's over there.
right.
And that's outside of time
That's outside of time.
because everyone's there at different points. And then old Flash is the one that does it, but everyone in all the other universes are the same time period. It doesn't make sense.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Because I was like, why does it have to be old him? Yeah, okay, it took so long to build this thing or whatever time period you pulled out of whatever. But no, it just doesn't make sense. Because everyone else has to activate theirs in their different universes in XYZ. And they're the same age.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to think about that.
Oh, and don't worry, the next one's a Supergirl movie.
Interesting. Yeah.
We saw
up to the part.
all of her like loved ones.
Well, that was the end of the first one. Yeah.
That's why I stopped watching the second one.
because it's a superhero movie.
Because I didn't see the other Supergirl movie, and it's very reliant on you see that entire movie.
Oh, we watched it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, definitely much better than that War World movie that
Oh
we
my
saw.
god!
I think it's on the same page. I think they're both bad.
Oh, War World was
You're going to love this because it ties right into War World.
fantastic.
Which you probably know because you saw Flash, old Flash. And that's who talked to Batman in War World.
Yeah. And then also the Long Halloween that showed when they brought Superman to his house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because at the very end of Long Halloween, Alfred enters the door and it's Green Arrow and Flash, and then they're like, "What's going on?" Oh, I thought you raised your hand as a question.
I thought you just were done so abruptly. Like, done.
Try saying War World 5 times fast.
War World, War World, War World, War World, War World.
Wow, okay, cool. I listened to my... Okay, ambulance.
I think that's the
War
Doomsday
World.
Yeah. Everyone duck and cover.
Shit, that was all my energy. That's all I got.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, lower your expectations watching the movie. There should be a fan. There should be a fan
It's
edit.
gonna be a bad movie and walk into it. Like,
Watch me talking about the movie.
Yeah. Watch the podcast episode where Alex talks about the movie, okay, and then watch the movie, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is okay."
But also see the Supergirl thing.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Well,
that.
because so all these movies connect to the new timeline that happens after.
God, there's so many movies.
Yeah, so there was the really, really good one that was super violent and ended the whole universe was that one with where Darkseid takes over.
Yeah, Justice League Dark.
Yeah, that was really good.
Only one.
But the end of that, they make Flash go and create this new timeline. And that's actually brought up in this movie, too, when the Spectre is like, hey, it's kind of your fault.
I know.
Fuck you, dude.
Which is also
It's your
reliant
fault.
that you've seen all those movies.
Yeah.
I was like, who's that guy? And I've seen all the movies.
Spectre? You didn't know Spectre?
Tony, I asked you, who's that dude? And you went Spectre. And I went, okay.
I said Spectre, the Wrath of God.
Tony, I have to delete
and so
some
she said,
things to
okay.
remember something. I told Tony,
Gotcha.
I said, the things in my mind that has to happen is the things that are very insignificant and won't save my life have to be deleted out of my brain so that new information can come in and it will stick. More.
Happens to me all the time. I delete things without even realizing.
It's autopilot.
Welcome to the 30s.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, we still got 2 more movies to watch to see how it goes.
Great. They're all
Whoa.
Yeah, they're all out. Well, on Max.
Gotcha. You're just fine
Now they're
in your life to accept them.
Yeah,
No, we watched it last night, and it was like, if I die tonight, this is the last movie I'm going to see. Like, oh, this is why do you have to always throw this in like shitty movies? If
Better
Oh
than
my
Madam Web.
God.
Better than Madam
I
Web.
loved Madam Web.
I don't know about that.
That
but
movie
it's
was
fine.
awesome.
For different reasons.
Yes.
I too tried to find a podcast movie to watch, and I picked out a movie with very little knowledge of it. I was aware of it because I'd seen Aubrey Plaza go on a late night talk show and talk about it. It's called My Old Ass.
Yeah, I've heard of.
I believe it was on Prime because it has that scary roaring lion for MGM at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
What came out of her old ass?
Memories. Yeah. Memories of what she ate.
She was able to recognize that after?
I didn't know going in like what genre the movie was because the synopsis is coming of age young woman interacts with her older self and gets like advice and adventure ensues. I don't know. It's a pretty chill, like low budget movie. They just kind of film on location in this really nice looking place that I guess is in Canada somewhere. But it's a chick flick. It's totally a chick flick. So if you want like
Get your Chick-fil-A pumpkin spice
and it
latte.
was like under an hour and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guess we're watching that.
I feel like the movie just like didn't care to like try and like make the movie the supernatural part make sense. They just kind of like
Breeze over it.
who gives a shit? Aubrey Plaza's here. She looks nothing like her younger self. They sound nothing alike. They even like address it like as if it's supposed to make it okay if they address it. They're like, you have a gap between your teeth and I don't. Like what's called aging. I don't know.
Interesting.
So it's pretty cool that like it's like you might as well just have someone with like a different skin color show up. Be like, I'm old, you. But
I believe you.
Tan Mom.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's me.
I watched this movie thinking that the dude was creepy. Like I thought that he was like way too. I thought he was following her. Like I mean, he was following her. It's like she's swimming, skinny dipping. He's doing it too. Everywhere she goes, he's there too. He's like too charming, too perfect, and he's just weird looking too. But that's besides the point. I thought that was the point of the movie. I was like, I gotta look up the genre. I'm like, is this gonna turn into like a slasher, like, thriller? Because just a synopsis. I won't spoil how it ends or whatever. But Aubrey Plaza's character tells her younger self, stay away from him. Stay away from someone with this name.
Yeah, don't.
Chad.
Don't-
Yeah, you always stay away from
Don't
Chad.
date.
But
Perfect. I've seen the ending of why she says to stay away from him without
great.
spoiling it.
Okay,
Can I spoil it?
Yes.
for everyone but me.
Spoil it.
Watch it?
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah,
Spoil it.
you don't
Yeah, I
have to
don't care.
spoil
Go.
it, but it doesn't like. I feel like it goes for the.
Go, good sir.
Like I
That's
said,
it.
I mean, I at least said it's a chick flick.
It's a chick flick.
I thought that there was another movie in there where he ends up being a serial killer, and I want to see that movie too. I do think that they ended the movie nice, although in a frustrating movie way where like they could give you more details and information to like satisfy, but they kind of like just tell you what you need to know, and that's enough.
So they keep some open loops.
Not really. They kind of like say something's going to happen, and you can't do anything about it. But it was short and it was good. It was sweet. There's the main character. I feel like it's like the opposite of woke because she starts out a lesbian and then she starts having feelings for a boy and she's like, "Am I straight?" And they're like, "Don't you say that fucking word."
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. It was like Harrison Ford with what's his face. I was always growing up to say the actress that Harrison Ford is married to, the one that was in actually Supergirl, the one that was like her boss, the CW Supergirl show. That she, I think, was with women, and then Harrison Ford turned her straight or something like that.
Whoa.
She couldn't just be bisexual.
No. Harrison Ford wouldn't allow that. Let me get in that brain. Interesting. Okay, so that's that. I hope you enjoy that movie. All right, so if you guys want to talk about some of the other animated stuff, like your Arcanes, Vox Machinas.
Yeah. Okay. Very exciting.
What if they met?
Oh, yeah, that would be weird because they're like two
That'd be
different
bad.
settings. No, so we started watching the second season of Arcane. Very good. I still like it as much as I like the first season. Now everything is like the fallout of the. So something happens at the very end of the first season, where it is like almost like a cliffhanger. You don't know what happens. So since you didn't watch Arcane, I'm just gonna say it. She shoots a bazooka. I forgot her name. What's her name?
Jinx.
Jinx shoots a bazooka at like the council, like at the building, and before the bazooka hits the building, you see one of the main characters goes shit, and then it just goes blank, and you don't know what happens until this season. So some people die, obviously. Some characters die. Other characters are angry about the characters dying, and it's starting to become like the rich versus the poor. And Jinx is leading the poor, and her sister is kind of leading the. Well, it's kind of like Jinx isn't doing things that are good. Like she's impulse. She reminds me of Harley Quinn, like on her worst day.
She's like a more unhinged Harley Quinn.
Unhinged. Like if she was very much like more unhinged, that's what she would be. I do see where some of the things where she's coming from, like how she grew up and how she was traumatized and stuff like that. But the older sister was able to get away from it and live kind of like a different life. They both go different ways on the scale of like good and bad. So after this, it's like the older sister realizing she was like, that's not my sister anymore. Like at this point, it's over for her. Like she killed a lot of people. It's like, that's it. I can't support her. And then Jinx is upset because then like second episode, she realizes that her sister's trying to find her and kill her. So she's crying and she's like, you know, it reminds me of a lot of our like unhinged Harley Quinn, like a lot. I really like the show. It's futuristic. Go ahead.
It's cyberpunk. But what I think is really cool is the cinematography is really good. But there are moments of it that remind me of 365 because there's like music video type moments.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There's a not sex.
Okay, 06.
No, it's just there's music videos because the Imagine Dragons voiced the soundtrack, so they do like her like in the very beginning of episodes. Sometimes they'll have them after the title of them like walking through the streets and they have music and Tony's like 365.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is an anime.
But with Imagine Dragons?
Imagine Dragons. You know, tell them you're great. That's the opening song for the show.
Yeah, but the songs inside are different songs. I don't think they're all Imagine Dragons.
They all are Imagine Dragons.
Are they? Okay, they sound completely different to me. I don't know.
They're not
I
Imagine
say things,
Dragons.
I mean things. Imagine Dragons.
All
Okay?
right. Well,
They pretty much will pay you to do the whole thing for this.
the cinematography is really well done. Like it's
Yes.
very artistic.
Very
Even
nice.
the
I
music
like the
video
art.
type moments and stuff, it still moves the plot
The
forward.
colors. When that Jinx was fighting that guy and all the bright neon colors that go with it is like really, really it's animated. It's animated really well. So and you don't really have to know the game to get this show. This is like totally different, like detached from the
Well,
game.
I think these characters are from the game.
I don't know, but you could watch it and
Yeah,
not
I
know
believe
the
you're right.
game. Like I don't know the game League of Legends, and I still watch the show. Like I'm not confused about it. They start you out like kind of explaining where you are. So,
She's in a fighting game now, too.
Jinx?
I'm sure. Really? Pokemon?
Yeah.
She not use Pokemon.
it's really cool. The conflicts are really cool. You get where the characters are coming from. There's different ranges of emotions. There's a girl that we kind of think is like romantically involved with the one of the main girls, the older sister. Her mom died in that explosion. Her mom died. She was also there, but her mom died. And so she's like extreme grief and extreme, like, I just want to kill Jinx. I don't care.
And
Like,
well,
I don't care. I would just want to kill her.
because she had the kill shot on Jinx before she shot the rocket, but she didn't do it because of the other girl.
Because of the sister.
Yeah.
She likes the sister. So she was like, I don't want to kill her sister. And then because she didn't kill the sister killed her mom.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the rage of like, I'm going to kill her when I see her. Like, I don't care who she is now.
Sounds Games of Thrones.
But it's easier to follow. Like, there's a lot less people.
Yeah.
And now they have a whole gang. The older sister has a whole, like, she joined the police, I guess, which is weird because the police killed her family. So she was hesitant, and then she's like, okay, let's do it. We'll create this, like, group of people, and we'll go in the underground because the richer people live above, and the poor people live in, like, the slums area underneath.
They're like the mutants from Futurama.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like Final Fantasy, or like any other media.
Any other media. But there's, like, gas, and there's, like, the way that's animated is so pretty. Like, it's like, oh, like, you can't stop looking at it. It's very good. I suggest it. The episodes are longer, though. They're like an hour for animated episodes.
Were all of them an hour?
Yes.
Oh.
So far.
All Magic Dragons, all in
An hour. But it's like, it doesn't feel like an hour, so. And then we also watched Vox Machina. We finished the season. It's so good. I love Vox Machina, so that's just I'm kind of biased. I love the characters. They go into more explanations. The things that they thought they were fighting for didn't necessarily, like, work out. And it was cool to see the different characters work out their issues, and some of them didn't, and some of them slept with each other, like two people. Slept with other people. And I was, but one they dragged out like two seasons where I was like, like, dude, you let these people sleep together. I didn't ask for this. I wanted this once. You know what I mean? I didn't ask for this. But it's just because it's my favorite character. So, you after you.
Yeah, no, still a very good show. Trying to think of a way of describing it. It is
It's
like,
D&D.
yeah, no, but I mean,
D&D.
like in terms of
If you like
the
D&D,
tone and style.
D&D.
Okay, yes, but
I saw the first season. I mean, yeah, it's like I thought the tone and style were like, it was like the vibes that they present in like The Boys and Invincible,
yeah,
but through the prism of like a D&D type of
yep.
Like if you like D&D and you like The Boys,
like, yeah, there is graphic stuff like you're just
there is
alluding
graphic
to.
stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Season some more. Except like you get the graphic sex scene from the right from the two other characters, and then the character you want to see, they're just like, yeah, they have sex. Just assume they have sex. I was like,
So they got hentai in there?
I was trying to figure out how to ask that
No.
question. I was like,
I mean, like it's
like
graphic.
Blue Eye
but you don't
Samurai.
see
It's
anything.
like how are they doing this?
I don't know.
Well, it's not as graphic as like the Castlevania stuff,
No,
but
that's the video was surprised. I didn't see that coming. I was like, oh my god! Like when it happened, you're like, shit.
yeah, but it's graphic enough to be more adult. Yeah,
Yeah, it's satisfying, literally. But there's a lot of conflicts. There's a lot of strikes that the group goes through. A lot of loss, and it's interesting to see. And other characters that were in the first season come back to this season, and
trying to remember how.
Is there a comedy in there too?
yeah,
Oh yeah, 100%.
it's a comedy, dark.
like The Boys.
The Boys.
Well, I only remember like the first few episodes, but like, are they like they're an up and coming like group? It's just like no one's heard of them. It's like no one's heard of Star-Lord type of thing. It's
Yeah.
like no one should know who we are. And
No,
they're
but
like they're out to
nobody
prove
knows Vox
themselves.
Machina. It's
Yeah.
like they're trying to travel as a group and be known as because they are Vox Machina.
Can you explain how they get that name?
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
It's such a
They do,
but
but
I
I don't.
do, but I don't
Yeah.
remember. Like
Okay.
they do explain how they met each other and how they met the prince, that guy. They explain how they met him and how they ran into him.
It feels like that the show like what season was this? The fourth or something? Third or fourth?
Third, and they already got renewed for fourth and fifth.
But it feels like there's a long term thing they're building towards. Like it doesn't feel like
Yes.
each season like let's
Well,
just figure
well,
it out.
it's based off of their D&D game. It's based off of their YouTube. I forgot what studio does there. Do you remember, Alex?
Critical Role.
Critical
Oh, there you go.
Role.
Yep.
It's based off of their actual D&D playing. So this whole thing, if you watch their D&D like playthrough, it's that story. So if you've already watched it, you know what's going to happen at the very end. But they just animated it, which is cool. It's a cool plot. But people were asking questions. Oh, is this going to happen? And somebody said, obviously you didn't watch like the Critical Role, or else you would know. But it's cool to see that they got that story from like random play, which was cool. I mean, obviously there's more depth to characters than there are like in a D&D thing, but it's cool to see that's where they got the basis of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the show it's been solid, continues to be.
It's still solid.
Hasn't lost even a little bit.
No.
So.
And I forgot to say we did watch the latest episodes of What We Do in the Shadows too. And that was also fantastic. I'm sorry, it still is a solid show also.
For the final season, do you feel like it's like gearing up, it's doing something special, or is it just like
It's wrapping up
a couple
storylines.
more, and I was just like, yeah, it's silly. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like
It's starting to wrap up specific things that were left out, like for example, Guillermo and
Theodore.
Nandor. They're starting to say like we're growing apart as
So sad.
like as in we're allowed to have our own like purposes, kind of like we're allowed to have our own purposes in life, and we might be growing this way apart from each other. Like it just is what it is. Kind of. Then that last episode was like you're allowed to have your own thing, and this last episode was really cool. Nandor raises an army, and you're like, oh, it's all not to spoil it, but it's all mannequins, all these mannequins. And at the very end, you realize, those mannequins were just him practicing. He actually has he raised a whole army of people.
Oh my god.
They're like human people.
Of
Just
human people to fight against them.
people who lost their jobs.
Jobs in this factory from this company that Guillermo's working for. So Guillermo got an actual job, and he's pretty much just a familiar for another person, for another guy.
It's like an assistant.
But Guillermo was that. Nadia was even working in the office doing something, but
She's like,
she's
because
a working woman now.
Laszlo even asked her, like, what do you even do? And she goes, I don't know. You just go into the office, pretend you're doing things, and then you go home.
And the funny part is, I like this episode because again they had like a touching moment with Laszlo and Nadia, where he was like, "You're amazing. You're the most funniest, kindest woman in the whole world." And I'm not even talking about that bomb ass pussy. That's what he does. I'm not even mentioning that 100% bomb pussy. That's what he legit said. He was like, not even counting that.
With his
Most
voice.
beautiful- Yes. Bomb ass pussy. Yes, that's what.
I think he said 10 out of 10. I don't think he said
10
Bob
out of
Ass.
10 pussy or some shit like that.
I like that though.
10 out of 10 pussy. Not even counting that. But I think there's little moments that still make it like the same show, and I get why they're winding it down, because you can only do it so long before it becomes not funny anymore. And why not end it at a high peak? And then
If there's, I don't know, depending how they end it, they could always do a reunion things. They could always do something.
Spin-off cartoon.
It'd be cool to see the original people who played them originally in the first movie that they did meet up with the actual people that they cast for this show. Because apparently yes, I do want to see what TT say last. You know, I would kill for that man. It's
With Thor.
shut up, I don't care.
The best and the worst.
Yeah.
All the second
You
one
made some
versus
shit
fourth
things
one.
also,
But
and you also made some good things. It happens. You make shit things, you make good things. Why would you put a silly man to make a serious movie? Tell me why you would put a silly man who makes
Because
silly
he did
stuff.
good at Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's why.
A silly movie.
Yeah, but that was not to the extent at which the fourth one was.
Because the fourth one
Yeah,
was
but when
supposed
we
to be
came out of
serious.
fourth one, we needed that comedy in
Yes.
life. It was a very troubling time for society.
Let
We
him
needed
be
a
silly.
laugh.
Let him
to
be a
defend Tony
beautiful
for a
man.
second, he made Hitler an imaginary friend, and the MCU was like him.
Yeah.
That man. I went, what? He that movie was also very, very good. Jojo Rabbit. Very sad, but very good.
Yeah.
And that was a serious movie also. That also was funny and serious, towards the end about what happened. So I'm like,
Yeah, then that gets sad at the end.
Yeah.
that's what I was like, okay, but but TT's my life. But
When you're talking about like the video game-esque animated shows, you kind of reminded me. Are you aware of this show that's coming on Netflix? I don't think it's out yet, but they're like each episode is like
Yes.
a story within a different video game franchise.
That's the thing I sent you where they have Mega Man in it.
It's called.
They got like
See a level, I think.
yes, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and
It's gonna be like a God of War episode.
Really?
yeah, and Mega Man too. Mega Man is
Oh.
awesome and
Wow.
It's got like I brought up an IMDb and like there's an
I think
interesting cast. It's got like
Pac-Man.
Keanu Reeves, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Whoa.
Whoa.
yeah.
and Kevin Hart.
We'll see. It looks
What's
like
the-
that other show that was like that weird. What was it? It was like trying to be Twilight Zone-y, but it was like different animation styles every episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Bad Robot or something like that?
That's JJ's company, right?
Oh.
But it was
Something robot.
It was something
right?
like that.
Yeah.
But
oh, it was. I thought it was bad.
Love, sex, robot.
yes.
Oh,
yes,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
It looks very similar to that, which scares me because I don't know how it's
I love sex.
love, sex, and robots.
Yeah.
Love, sex, and Shakespeare. But yeah, no. It looks like it's going to be interesting, but I at the same time I have that fear because it looks like that show, and I don't know what they're going to do creatively with each different aspect.
Yeah.
So,
Which Mega Man? X or regular?
like a regular Mega Man.
Oh, wow.
It looks interesting though. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so as we start, I believe, winding down, I have to ask, you don't seem... Are you optimistic today? I'm calling fish out of water in this game.
Yeah, I'm taking a hiatus this week from the facts.
Well, I have to ask that. They at least presented a CW show. Will you
Yeah, I'll do that.
reciprocate?
Yeah, I'll talk about
I gave
I will.
my energy to CW.
Okay. Batwoman this week is about
bats.
yeah, you know the deal. Ryan, she's out there, she's being Batwoman. Alice, she's helping her, and
So you get to see Alice?
yeah, you do see Alice. In this episode, she doesn't help Batwoman though because she goes, "I'm sick, I can't help you."
Oh, so she took a sick hiatus.
She most certainly does. She does, and she stays with technically her sister too, right? Because they had the same dad as Kate. So she stays with her sister at the doctor's office for like the majority of the episode, and they just kind of chatted up. So that's what Alice does during this episode. Yeah. Batwoman finds out Ryan Wilder. Last episode she met her mom in the big Bruce Wayne Tower, and she's like, you're my daughter, but let's not do this thing. And then she's like, I don't know how you got in such a position of power, because now she runs Wayne Enterprises as of last episode. So she goes there to talk to her mom again, and now she goes to the mom's place of work, and this guy walks in, and he's just like, She's like, who's that? And they're like, that's your brother. Oh, so Ryan has a brother from her secret mom that she didn't know she knew. And then they find out that Nora Freeze is out there. And yeah, so today's episode is Mr. Freeze's ice. That's what they're after. They've been after a different Batman thing each episode.
It's ice? What does that mean?
His
Like it's done?
His liquid nitrogen.
You know what that means?
Not even.
They're after his
Because-
ice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's icicle.
Let me get that
maybe?
Italian.
Oh yes, but jewelry.
Give me those
too.
crystals.
Yeah, those.
But you know what I mean.
Because yeah,
Is icicle.
It's icicle.
because
baby.
a big old bus blew up and froze itself because someone got his ice. So the whole bus froze itself. I guess everyone on that bus died. They don't really talk about the bus much in this episode.
They're like,
It
the
just
bus
kinda
falls
happens
out
at the
to-
big- yeah.
But don't ask any questions.
It's like, that's the introduction. You guess, this is Mr. Freeze now. Shut up. So that's how it felt to me. Yeah.
Stop talking.
Yeah, stop, shut the fuck up. This is Mr. Freeze.
Gotcha.
So Mr. Freeze is dead.
Oh,
So-
all right.
Yeah, he's dead. He's long dead. But Nora Freeze, he managed to save her. You know, he got he cured her McGregor syndrome. He took her out of the ice, and now she's okay. So they're trying to find out, okay, so who wants this Freeze stuff? What are we going to do? And it's like this just random gang that kind of wants it. And they're like, well, we need to find out how it works, so we need to find Nora Freeze and her sister.
What?
Yeah. So Batwoman and what do I call them? I already forgot what I call it.
Luscious?
Luscious, thank you. Batwoman and Luscious, because I'm starting to learn his actual name. I've watched enough, so I'm trying to. I'm like, I don't want to start saying his name.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to, man. So, Luscious, thank you guys. Her and Luscious track down the Freeze thing. They're like, oh my God, they're going to kidnap Nora Freeze and they're going to bring in this thing. We have to save them. And then her brother from the building comes over and he's just throwing basketballs around Wayne Enterprise. He's just. What? Yeah, he's just throwing a basketball against like statues and shit. He's kind of being a real dick.
Oh.
Like, I don't know why he's doing it, but he's just most certainly in there, just like walking around, tossing a basketball, throwing it at shit. There must be no security at Wayne Tower because he's just doing that. And then I'm like, oh, okay, Batwoman's gonna send Luscious to talk to him while she goes and saves Nora Freeze. And then the next scene, she's back in civilian clothes and she walks into the room to talk to her brother. And I'm like, Miss, you have to go out there and save people. Did you?
The opposite problem of Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, right. I was like, what are you doing? Come on. Like,
Family comes first.
yeah. So she talks to him and he's like, yeah, I know I'm your brother. And I figured it out because my mom disappeared for 9 months. And then all of a sudden came back and had problems with my dad.
It sounds like she had a baby.
Yeah, so.
That's 100% what it is.
Yeah, you figured it out. Just like he did.
That's so crazy.
Wait, what else happens in 9 months? Runs a business?
For 9 months.
Yeah. Left for 9 months to run a business.
Yep.
And then came back in recovery for 6 months. Oh!
That business took a lot out of me.
That business was so difficult.
I got robbed.
So she talks to the brother, and the brother's like, look, I don't like my mom neither, but I think we need to stick together. Basketball.
Oh, they're still throwing the basketball.
No, he's throwing the basketball with himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And she's like, maybe. And then the next song. Whoa,
it's a musical now.
Yeah. The next scene, Luscious is like, oh, so what did you say to him? She's like, I said maybe we'll work together. And then she goes to save Nora Freeze. And she walks into the warehouse, and Nora Freeze is an old-ass woman.
Oh.
And she's like, and they're like, wow, Nora Freeze.
What the fuck happened to you?
Like, why are you so old? And she looks like one of the Golden Girls. Like, she's old. And they're like, what happened? And she's like, well, Mr. Freeze, he may have saved me from McGregor syndrome. But when I came out of that cryostasis, I aged the amount of time I was in cryostasis every day. So I got significantly older really speedily.
No,
What?
That works.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't give a fuck about that. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Yeah. Unnecessary. They don't show it. She just says it.
Yeah,
That would be sick. I mean, regardless if it's totally irrelevant from the plot, seeing this woman like
age. Yeah.
what age does when it hits you in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, so it hit her fast. She apparently 3 decades, and then she's getting hit by 3 decades of time. I don't know how old Mr. Freeze was in
That's
this
what I'm
world.
gonna say. How old is Mr. Freeze?
Oh, ancient.
Geriatric.
Oh yeah, he's got to be ancient because
He
she's
died of old age. He didn't even die like fighting anybody.
no. But so even though they're like, oh yeah, he saved everyone, blah blah blah. So she fights the thugs and instantly gets thrown in the freeze chamber. Batwoman fights like 3 or 4 thugs. Immediately gets thrown.
Are these thugs like superhuman or
No, because Luscious comes later and beats them all up.
Is he in the suit?
Yeah, he's in the suit.
All right.
But
That's what it is. It's a suit.
Yeah.
That woman has never done anything cool.
no.
She's awesome.
So
She's my
it's
hero.
it's really funny because
My only hero.
but the reason they throw her in there is even funnier because she's like, my boss wants to find out if this machine is really gonna work, so we're gonna throw you in there. And then Mrs. Nora Freeze's sister was like, okay, so we'll put the cold chamber in there and we'll freeze her and we'll see what happens. It's like, whoa. I don't want you to use any of that freeze gas.
Yeah.
So they're like, that's just going to kill her. And she's like, exactly. I'm like, What the hell? You're going to prove nothing to your boss.
Yeah.
You're going to prove that it's cold? That's what you... Yeah, it's so fucking cold. I got this bitch. No. I'm like, what is it? What does that even matter? So they
How old's the sister, by the way? Is
Also
she also
old.
Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah, they're both old.
Okay.
39 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
No, so now Batwoman is in the freeze chamber, and they're just freezing her ass. I'm so cold.
She doesn't do anything.
No, she kind of bangs on the glass a little bit. She doesn't like punch it or nothing, try to get out. She just kind of like
Taps on it.
and it's kind of implied that like you'd be able to hear her on the other side of the glass, but she's kind of just mouthing words. So she's like on the glass, very strange.
This happened.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like what is?
Oh my
really...
God.
She's
That's
just
very
mouthing
strange.
words.
Huh.
So they take they leave this sister, but take Nora Freeze out of there. Nora Freeze gets out of there.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, if you don't help us, we're gonna kill one of them. Ah, shit, not this again.
Right.
They might be flipped. I think Nora Freeze is there, and they kidnap the sister. One of the other.
Okay.
Regardless, Luscious shows up because she's getting frozen, really cold in there, and he shows up in the suit, beats the crap out of everybody, just even slams the girl that like knocked Batwoman out in one hit against the glass, like destroys them.
Why do we have Batwoman?
We don't need her. Don't need her.
The entertainment.
Yeah, and then they save whichever one was there. I think it was Nora Freeze, and then they're like, "We got to still get the sister. We can't let my last thing that I said to her be a lie." So they send Nora Freeze to get checked up on with Alice and the doctor girl,
The ones who took the sick day.
Yeah, well, the doctor girl, she says, "I'm a real doctor now."
But
Oh.
did she get her doctorate? She
Apparently.
still what?
Now she wears a lab coat and she goes, "I'm a real doctor."
After doing medical stuff, yeah, and all
Yeah.
these other people without having a doctorate.
Yep.
It's a lab coat.
So she tells Alice, she's like, first off, you're not even sick. You're lying. And then Nora Freeze shows up, and she's like, oh, you're aging really quick. You're going to fucking die. And then Alice is like, if you don't fucking take these nanobots out of my arm so I could do whatever I want, I'm going to kill Nora Freeze. And Nora Freeze is like, I don't give a shit. Kill me. And then Alice is like, yeah, you want me to kill you? You want me to do what?
You calling my bluff?
Yeah. And then Alice kind of walks away like a little sad dog.
Oh.
And she like stands in the corner. She's like, well, she didn't even care.
Oh my God. All right.
And then the sister goes and she's like, Alice, I was being so nice to you. Why did you do that?
This is all what Batgirl is about. Why'd you do that, Alice?
Well,
I
this
love
girl's
you.
getting
Why'd
kind
you do
of
that?
so much. She's gotten away with everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Since
Wait,
season one.
And she almost got thrown in jail multiple
Yeah,
times.
she gets thrown in jail and just out every time.
But this is Ryan now. This isn't even her sister, Batwoman.
No, Kate gone. But I'm talking about right now. She's with her sister, the doctor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's every sister.
everybody just goes up to her and is like, "Why are you doing this?"
doing this.
So she's like, "I was."
Why are you so
She's actually says,
bad?
"I was being so nice to you."
Oh, wow.
That's a quote. And
Why are you being
yeah,
so mean?
and then Alice, Alice is like, "You think I care about being nice? I want to get these nanobots out of my arm, and I want to be free." And Nora Freeze is like, "Yeah, I get it." I was like, "What?"
And then she dies.
No, she's like, "I get it." She wants to be free. I'm sick of people sacrificing their life for me. I want her to be free too. And everyone's like,
an M&M, Brian.
all right, get the fuck out of here. No one cares about you, Mrs. Freeze. Bye. So the scene moves on. Now it's Batwoman and Luscious, who's in the suit, and they're tracking down the sister, who's in like a little getaway car with the people that Luscious beat up, because Luscious, after he beat them up, he had to save Batwoman.
Oh, yeah.
So he had the choice of save Batwoman or keep kicking the shit out of these people.
Oh.
And he chose to save Batwoman. Unfortunately, so chose to
Now,
save.
if there was a competent Batwoman, they could have done both.
Yeah, they could have done both. He could have gone after the sister, and then she could have been...
Yeah.
Anyway. Whatever. So they're going after... This part is absolutely batshit insane. So they're chasing them over a bridge, and the bad guys, like, kind of destroy the bridge. It blows it up a bit. They drive around, and then Batwoman's like, oh, man, how am I going to get across this bridge? Full fucking speed. And then Luscious is like, no, I got you. And he flies out into the sky, and he, with his jetpack, his little jetpack on his suit, he flies into the sky and uses a Mr. Freeze canister, and he opens it up, and he sprays it on the bridge. And,
What? That sounds great.
and he just like, but what's funny is that the spray's going nuts, like absolutely covering every spot of the bridge, but he's kind of like this.
So he's very controlled.
He's just like,
but the hose is just
that shit is covering every part of the bridge, bro. And it does. Wow. And then she puts on her snow wheels on the Batmobile, and she drives right over that ice. And they kick the shit out of those people.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. She saves the day. You know what I'm saying?
Is this the Luscious show, or?
So it's funny because the whole thing with Alice and the doctor girl is that Alice is like, you're not actually protecting Luscious by not telling anybody that the suit doesn't want him to be ready for it. And she comes into the Batcave like right after they save the day and everything, and she's like, Luscious, he turned off the failsafe on the suit that turns off when he gets PTSD, and I'm like, great, thank God.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it won't power off when you're in the middle of battle. That's amazing. Good job, Luscious. But for some reason, she sees it as a really big problem.
Oh.
And Batwoman, finally a little competent, is like, he just saved me.
Yeah.
Made a little ice bridge, and we saved the sister too. What are you complaining about?
Good. All right. There you go. She got some sense.
But now Luscious is mad because that girl spilled the beans on him. Yeah. You know? Jerk.
Yeah.
So the episode kind of caps off.
I'm watching the scene. The way you describe it and see every he's just I mean, it makes a legit road. I'm gonna send it to our group chat.
Damn.
That's amazing.
So the episode caps off with the doctor girl seeing Nora Freeze with her sister sitting on a little bench, and she's like, Nora Freeze is rambling like an old woman. They all kind of like acknowledge it too. They're like, "Oh, what the fuck is she saying?" And she's like, "I don't really care. This is where Mr. Freeze and I used to date. This was our first date park." And then the sister's like, "So, are you okay with dying, or?"
Yeah, I gotta say it. What I'm picturing right now is both of them on the bench, old women, and their faces slowly melting off, like in the.
No, only one
Jones.
is old. Only one is getting increasingly aged by the minute.
No, it's fine though.
But it's okay. They just casted an old lady to play her, so it doesn't even matter.
Gotcha.
You know she's old. And then she's like, "No, I want to die." Like,
right.
okay. And the doctor lady kind of just leaves that scene happen. She eavesdrops the shit out of that conversation, but walks like 4 feet away, and then just kind of like stands to listen to the rest of their conversation. It's kind of nuts. And then, they throw Alice back in jail because she's in and out of the system. Whenever they have missions, they let her out. You know, a little good girl behavior.
Right.
Yeah. Every episode.
Good girl.
And it's, yeah. And then the literal last scene of the episode is her just looking at her arms.
Because of the nanobots?
But she sees them, but they're not there.
Oh.
But she sees them like little bugs in her skin. She's like, and then she also sees her arms normal right after. And then she's like, "What's wrong with me?"
Oh.
Everything. That is the question that this whole show.
She should have been killed season 1.
Yes, that is the question
down.
that everybody has been asking from the beginning of the
Yeah.
show. What is wrong with it?
Oh, I forgot. There's a really important part that happens to the doctor lady. She gets dragged off into the woods with
What?
poison ivy leaves.
Oh.
Yeah, they just grab her little legs and pull her off into the woods like a horror movie.
she's
And no
gonna
one
be
reacts
poison
around
ivy?
her.
She's gonna be poison ivy.
No, I think that they're just trying to tell us the next bad guy is poison ivy. But her leaves wrapped around the legs, and they literally pulled her away like a horror movie into the woods, and no one reacted.
Is it actually poison ivy, or is it going to be like someone got her
It's gonna be
ivy?
like no, it's gonna be Dave.
Seems like on eBay.
Dave with a branch. That's how it's been.
Lines that just so happen to wrap around her leg.
Yeah. You made a lasso out of the leaves.
Yeah.
What I am poison ivy.
He got her leg even though her leg is on the ground and there's no way to lasso something.
Oh no, they come all the way.
Oh, and
and
they go
grab her legs and then whoa.
like they do the pull off stage thing.
Yes.
Yeah, like
The hook.
Yes, that's literally that is.
You're
literally what
done.
they did.
You're done. Get off. You're done.
And that was Batwoman.
Sounds like a great episode. As you would often get asked, how many bats out of other things?
How many bats out of heaven?
2 frozen bats
Okay.
out of 1 bat on a beach.
Oh, okay. All right. Bat on the beach, bat on the platter.
Show me this Mad Hatter. Dropping bars over here.
Well, that's it for this episode of Pseudo Adults, everyone.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one, everybody.
See you on the flip side.
I'm Alex.
I'm Rachel.
This is Tony.
And I'm a Kyle.
Whoa.
Molto bene.
Why did it become a terrible?
We're Pseudo Adults.
Lord, this is
Oh, everybody